Good evening, everyone. Hello and welcome to the UEFA Champions League Live. This is it. It is the moment that everyone has been waiting for. It has been only a couple of months, in fact, you could say about a month or two since we last covered the UEFA Champions League Live. But here we are once again, ready and raring to go for a brand new season. Of course, Bayern Munich were the winners of the previous Champions League. But the question is, who is going to win it in what could be a crazy season ahead? We're back to the usual format of the tournament, the two-leg knockout games and everything like that. But of course, we have to start off at the group stages, which is where we're starting tonight with match day 1 from groups E to H. We've got all the boys joining us today. Of course, we're going to be covering every game and every goal live. And before the games do start, of course, in 15 minutes time, we're going to look at the lineups and kind of talk you through which games the boys are going to be covering tonight. So sit back, relax and enjoy, because you've got 15 minutes to build up. And then, of course, fingers crossed, we are in for, some incredible games tonight. I mean, you can see at the bottom of your screen right now some of the games that have already gone on today. Juventus in a 2-0 win against Dynamo Kiev, and also a 1-1 draw between Zenit. In fact, it's actually changed because Club Brugge have just won it in the 93rd minute. So it's a 2-1 win for Club Brugge in that game. Nice way to start the Champions League off, though. Big victory for them. But, of course, as we said before, it's groups E to H tonight, taking part in the Champions League. And without further ado, we will go through our games, of course, and show you the lineups of the fixtures tonight. So we'll start off with Barcelona versus Ferencváros. This is the game that I'm going to be covering tonight. There's 2 fixtures I'm going to be keeping my close eye out on. And you can see with the Barcelona lineup, 4-2-3-1 tonight. Neto is in goal. Ter Stegen still out with an injury. He doesn't come back till around the end of next month. Back 4, Dest at left back tonight. Longley, Piqué and Sergio Roberto make up that back 4. Defensive midfield 2, you could say, of De Jong and Miralem Pjanic. First game for him, of course, for Barcelona in the Champions League. Attacking 3 of Fati, Coutinho and Trincao. Interesting choice, of course. And then up top tonight is the man who could have technically not been at the club, Lionel Messi. He's going to be starting once again for Barcelona as they try and push, of course, to win the Champions League, as you would expect them to do. And this is the lineup tonight for Ferencváros. It's the first time they've participated in this tournament since the 90s. It's going to be tough to pronounce some of these names tonight, but give me the best of luck because it's going to be a hard one. Debuj is in goal. Back 4 of Sivic, Kovacevic, Blasic and Botka. Fairly easy back 4 to pronounce tonight. Laduini and Karatin are the 2 defensive midfielders. Sigera is the attacking midfielder. And up top tonight is 3 up top. Left wing is Ale. The striker is Tokmak Nguyen. Going to just pronounce him as Nguyen. Easier for me. And Zubkov on the right-hand side tonight. So, of course, Ferencváros, big game for them, of course. I haven't played since the 90s in the Champions League. Can they get a big victory tonight against Barcelona, or even a point? You never know. The next game, of course, is Chelsea and Sevilla. And let's bring the boys in, of course, because it's not just me on my own covering the games tonight. And covering the Chelsea-Sevilla game is a man who likes a lot of goals in the Champions League. Question is he going to get goals tonight? It's Kieran. How are we doing, buddy?
I'm doing all right. And of course I like goals. Who doesn't like goals? How are you, Josh?
I'm not too bad. And I mean, you can see on the screen right now the lineups for Chelsea and Sevilla. It's a 4-2-3-1 today. Eduard Mendy, who was out with an injury, he's back in goal. Back 4 of Ben Chilwell, Kurt Zouma, Thiago Silva and Reece James. Midfield 2, or defensive midfield 2, you could say, of Jorginho and Kante. Attacking 3, Mason Mount on the left-hand side, Kai Havertz in the middle, and Christian Pulisic on the left wing with, of course, Timo Werner up top. And then this is the Sevilla lineup. 4-3-3 for them, of course. The Europa League winners back in the competition once again. You've got Bunau in goal. Back 4 of Acuna, one of their recent signings. Diego Carlos, who got them the winning goal in the Europa League, of course. Sergio Gomez and Jesus Navas. Midfield 3 of Gudelj, Fernando and Rakitic. And then the front 3 of Campos, De Jong and Suso. Interesting game on paper, this, because Chelsea have been a little bit quiet in the Champions League over the last couple of years. As for Sevilla, they won the Europa League. There's going to be some pressure on them. Who do you think is going to come out on top tonight?
I said to Rowan earlier, this could very well be a draw. I think both teams have impressed in certain instances. I've got to admit, Sevilla have impressed me a lot during the Europa League last year. I think some of the football they played surprised a lot of people. And with the defensive weaknesses that Chelsea have had over the even start of this year, they've not looked sturdy at all, conceding 3 to Southampton on the weekend. It's all about that. If Chelsea can finally plug the gaps and stop conceding, they're a real force. But we've seen what this Sevilla side can do. But they don't like the Champions League. This is not their tournament. They like the Europa League, but maybe this is the year to make it a little bit different.
Maybe it is. We'll have to find out indeed. We'll bring you back in a moment, KL. Let's have a quick look at the chat and see what you guys have been saying. Chris has said, hi, lads. Hope you are all well. Good to see you in the stream as always, buddy. Benaldo saying, good evening, lads. Welcome in, Benaldo. Hope you're all good, pal. Alexa Vidge saying the menu buzzed in of the night. Petr Cech, of course, back in the Chelsea squad because of certain COVID implications, which is interesting to see, of course. And Chris has put, I take it Rowan might be keeping an eye out on Oldham versus my local town, Carlisle, tonight. He definitely is indeed. So that is the Chelsea and Sevilla lineups. We're now actually going to move on to the other game that Rowan is going to be covering, of course. That is Lazio Dortmund. Let's bring Rowan in. Let's have a quick talk with him. How are you doing, Rowan?
I'm doing great. How are you, Josh?
I'm doing very good indeed. Are you keeping an eye out on the Oldham game?
I'm keeping an eye out. We're at half-time, so we're all right there.
Of course, you've got to, and you never know, maybe you might come away with 3 points. But this are the lineups for Lazio and Dortmund. You can see on the screen. 3-5-2 today for Lazio. Strakosha is in goal. Defensive free. Patrick, usually a fullback, playing at centre-back tonight, alongside Luis Felipe and Acerbi. Midfield 5 of Marasic, the Montenegrin midfielder. Milinkovic-Savic, Lucas Leiva, and Luis Alberto. And Momo Fares is on the left-hand side. A name that I don't think many people will know about in terms of the Lazio squad. And then up top tonight is Correa and Immobile. And then the Dortmund lineup is also free at the back tonight. And a couple of interesting changes there. We kind of had a look at the lineups before these games kicked off. Hitz is in goal tonight, Berkey on the bench. Defensive 3 of Delaney, Hummels and Piszczek. Midfield 4 of Guerrero, Witsel, Bellingham and Munier on the right-hand side. 2 central attacking midfielders, that's Royce and Sancho. And then up top tonight, of course, is Erling Haaland. Some interesting changes tonight for Borussia Dortmund.
It was something I didn't realise. Thank God Kieran told me. I didn't even realise last week. And Berkey didn't even play last week. It was Hitz. So he does seem like he's been dropped. And they have been playing that 3 at the back. Well, not the 3 at the back, but how Dortmund have played. The 5 at the back, but you've got your 2 wing backs. And normally it's Emre Can who plays that other centre-back role if they don't have a fit centre-back. So I don't think Chan is even on the bench, is there? No, so I don't know why. I think he's got to be injured, obviously. Yeah, it is a strong team. It is. It'll be interesting for Jude Bellingham, I think, today, really to mark his name for the Dortmund fans and stuff.
It's a massive, massive chance for him, of course, his first Champions League game. And it'll be interesting to see how Lazio do as well, because they've not been in the Champions League for a couple of years now. They've got some, big recognisable names, Luis Alberto, Immobile, Lucas Leiva. How do you think Lazio will do in the competition this season?
They've got a shout, haven't they? They have got a shout. I mean, you've just got to look at the main man, Immobile, however you pronounce his name, Chiro. He's going to be a force to reckon with, and it'll be a tough job for the defence, for both, a lot of teams to try to control him. But if you can control him, I don't think they really have that other big goal-scoring name, especially starting. So it's all about Immobile, and if he can get going in this tournament. The pressure
is going to be on him tonight. He's got a lot of work to do, and of course, it's a big game for Borussia Dortmund. Thank you very much, Rowan. We'll bring you back in a moment's time. Let's have a quick look at the chat again. Of course, if you're on stream, as always, do leave a like and a subscription. We can't show the games properly tonight because of copyright, but for those of you that can't watch the games, of course, this is a great chance for you to be able to sit back, enjoy me talking for an hour and a half. Of course, bring the boys in when the goals do go in, and hopefully we get some good games indeed. Chris has put my predictions. Barcelona to win 1-0 against Ferencvaros, Chelsea to win 2-0, and Lazio to finish 1-1. So not necessarily a great deal of goals tonight, but a couple of interesting games here and there. And Benal says, I don't know, man. A team could be 3-0 up and end up drawing 3-3. Of course, we've already seen that this weekend. Don't think you really wanted that to be brought up, Benaldo, but you brought it up yourself. Unlucky on that one. So we're going to move on to the next game, of course, PSG taking on Manchester United. And there's only one man that could cover Manchester United. The question is, can they get the same result they did a couple of years ago? In fact, last year, or was it the year before? Kieran, I'll have to tell me. It's KD. How are you doing, buddy?
I'm good. Are you?
I'm very good indeed. Was it last year or was it the year before you got the result?
It was the year before, Josh, because we're in the Europa League last year.
That is very true indeed. But you're back in the Champions League now, and this is a big opportunity. As you can see on the screen once again, here are the lineups for the two sides. 4-3-3 for Paris Saint-Germain today. Very similar system to what they used against Bayern Munich in the Champions League final a couple of weeks ago. Kellen Navas in goal, back four of Kazawa, Diallo, Kimpembe, and their new signing Florenzi, of course, on loan from AS Roma. At midfield three of Idrissa Gueye, Danilo Pereira, another player who's on loan from Porto, and another new signing. and of course, Ander Herrera. And then up top tonight is the ever-present front three of Angel Di Maria, Kylian Mbappe on the right-hand side, and Neymar in the middle. And this is how Manchester United are lining up in their first Champions League game back. David Gea is in goal, back five. Alex Telles, first chance for him to show himself in a Manchester United shirt. That's going to be very exciting indeed. Luke Shaw, Lindelof, and Tuanzebe as the three centre-backs, with Aaron Wan-Bissaka at right-back today. Midfield three of McTominay, Bruno Fernandes, and Fred. Of course, Bruno Fernandes tonight is the captain. And then up top, Rashford and Martial. Lineups, what do you think about them, Kieran? Because it's a big game for Manchester United tonight, as it is for PSG as well.
I think both sides are missing key players, as you can tell from the starting 11s. We're missing the likes of Maguire and Bailly, and I'm trying to think of some Pogba and Van der Beek on the bench. PSG also missing a few players they've got there without Icardi, Paredes, and Verratti, and Marquinhos, probably their biggest player that's out. I think it's going to be a very tough game. I don't want to say we're going to get something out of it, because now we probably won't, but I think we can get them. I'm not going to lie.
It's going to be an interesting game indeed. Really excited for this one, and hopefully we get some goals in it tonight, because it'd be a great way to start the Champions League. Thank you very much, Katie. Bring you back in a moment. Of course, we're about 3 minutes away from kickoff of the rest of the games. So have a quick look at the chat once again. Alex is saying any self-respecting United fan will root for a PSG smashing tonight, so Ole gets sacked and Pochettino comes in. Elmar, welcome to stream, buddy. Hope you're all good. He says, not a happy Zenit St. Petersburg fan here. Rest in peace to our Champions League campaign. Embarrassing performance tonight against Club Brugge. Bernardo's put Henderson needs to play. It's disrespectful. He's subbing. And he put, oh, well, hope PSG win by a considerable margin. And then Chris has put 1-1 for Manchester United tonight, which I think there'll be a few Manchester United fans will be fairly happy with that result if you can get it. Of course, you still want to win your first Champions League game. Fingers crossed to both sides tonight. So there's a couple of other games going on as well. I'm going to try and do my very best to cover this other game that's going on. RB Leipzig versus Istanbul Saxa here. Leipzig going with a 3-4-3 tonight. Galacki in goal. Three centre-backs of Halstenberg, Upamecano and Willy Orban. Left wing-back is Angelino / left mid, of course. Right mid / right wing-back is Mukiele. And then the midfield two is Kevin Campbell and then Kunku. Front three tonight are Forsberg, Poulsen and Danny Olmo. And then Istanbul Başakşehir's lineup, of course. First chance for them to be in the Champions League. Congratulations to them. 4-3-3 for them tonight. Gunok in goal. Back four of Bowling goalie. Upreniu, the Moldovan centre-back. Skirtle, former Liverpool player, of course. And Junior Kaikara, who's playing at right back. Midfield three of Kavechi, Topal and Raphael. And then up top tonight, they've got Denis Turk, Sivelli, the Argentinian striker, and the ever-present Edin Vishka. So I'm going to try and get that up at the same time. So I'm going to try and cover two games at once. If I can't, of course, I'm going to focus on the Barcelona game tonight. And then there's one other game going on, another Champions League debutant in Stade Rennes. Congratulations to them. They're going out with a 4-3-3 tonight against Krasnodar. Gomes is in goal. Of course, they lost Eduard Mendy not too long ago. Back four of Dalbert, Ajuerd, Da Silva, and the ever-present Traore, done very well at the start of the Liga season at right back. Midfield three of the young Camavinga, linked with the move away to Real Madrid, Steven Nzonzi and Boyjud. And then up top tonight, they've got Martin Terrier at the left wing position, Del Castillo on the right, and Girassi up top. And then it's a 4-3-3 as well for Krasnodar, made it through in the playoffs. They've got Safanov in goal, back four of Chernov, Sorokin, Karo, and Petrov. Midfield three of Utkin, Vilhena, and Olsen. And then front three of Ramirez, Berg, and Smolnikov. There is no Remy Cabella in their lineup tonight, so there'll be a few disappointed Krasnodar fans tonight, of course. We did cover them a little bit throughout those playoff games. Well, I was actually going to bring the boys back in, but I think some of the games are going to kick off. Do give me a thumbs up, guys, in the bottom, whether your games have started or not. If not, we'll quickly bring you in. It's kind of started. We'll quickly bring you in. We've got some time. I guess nothing should happen in the first 30 seconds. Score predictions. We always do our predictions. And I think even, it's going to be a tricky one to predict tonight what happens. But I'm going to start off with, keep it now. Chelsea versus Sevilla. What's your prediction tonight?
I like to see goals, so I'll go with a 2-2 draw.
2-2 draw. We do like goals indeed. Fingers crossed we can get that tonight. Rowan, let's see Dortmund. Score prediction.
3-1. 3-2 Dortmund.
3-2.
Then they'll sneak a win.
Liking the theme. We're getting goals. That's the pattern. If we can get goals tonight, that'd be brilliant. Makes my job a lot more easier. And Kieran D, PSG Man U. Of course, you've got to go Man U, surely.
No, I'm going to go 2-1 PSG. I think they'll do us tonight. I do.
Interesting indeed. I've got my two games I'm going to predict. I'm going to start off with the game between Leipzig and Istanbul. I'm going to go 2-1 to Leipzig in that game. I'm going to go 5-1 to Barcelona. I kind of hope that doesn't happen because I'd like it to go down a similar route as Slavia did. Pick up a good point against them. You never know. They might, but I'm going to go 5-1, of course. Put your score predictions in the chat. But some of the games should have started now, so I'm going to take the boys off the screen. And hopefully we'll bring you back in a little bit for some more goals. But for now, you'll be able to see on your screen some of the things that are going on. I am going to be covering the Barcelona-Ferencváros game. I am just trying to get my hands on the Leipzig game, which the good news is I can actually get my hands on it, which is fantastic. So I'm going to have two games going at once here. Do give me 2 seconds. But we've got plenty of games going on tonight, a whole host of fixtures, including games between Chelsea and Sevilla and Lazio and Borussia Dortmund. So hopefully we do get those goals indeed and nice, bright, early starts. But let's have a look at your predictions in the chat. Alex is saying a 2-2 draw for the first game, 3-3 between Lazio and Dortmund, 2-0 to PSG against Manchester United. Leipzig with a 3-1 win, 3-1 to Barca. But Ella thinks a 6-1 win to PSG. Well, if that happens, I think there'll be a few very disappointed Manchester United fans indeed. But there's only one game tonight that we're not going to be keeping our eyes on necessarily and watching, and that is the Rennes-Krasnodar game. So we'll keep you up to date with the scores of that fixture, but there won't be anybody kind of glancing their eyes on that specific match in general. But I will have my eyes on the Leipzig game and the Istanbul match between those two sides and Barcelona-Ferencváros. But of course, it's very, very busy indeed. And it's going to get very hectic at times. So I probably won't be able to necessarily keep my eyes out as much on the fixture between Leipzig. But the main game I picked out today is Barcelona and Ferencváros. And it's quite an interesting one, this one, because the last game that we saw of these two sides in the Champions League, as I said before, Ferencváros haven't actually played a game in the Champions League since the 90s. So this is a real big opportunity for them tonight to go out there and try and impress. And what a way to impress, of course. They must be absolutely delighted that they've been given this opportunity to play off against Barcelona. But you never know. With this Barcelona side, of course, they are still going to probably have a few doubts and worries over that 8-2 loss against Bayern Munich. And it is a complete refresh and overhaul of the system at the club. And they're actually coming forward here in the first couple of minutes. It's Ansu Fati. Can lay off the ball to the far left-hand side to Serginho Dest, just one of the few players that Barcelona did sign in that transfer window. Of course, it's short. They're going to try and spray the ball out to Trincao on the far right-hand side. Tries to loft the ball into the box, but it's very, very good defending there and a good kind of, I think, interception from Sivic on that left-hand side, doing very well indeed to keep Barcelona out in these early couple of minutes, of course, at the Camp Nou tonight. Going to be interesting to see what happens. I predicted 5-1. Is it going to happen? We don't know. But there is a corner here, which is going to be taken by Messi. It's going to be laid off to Francisco Trincao, who I'm very excited to see tonight. It's back to Messi again on the far right-hand side. It's going to be laid off once again into Trincao, who's found himself some space in the middle of the box. Lays it back to Messi, who just can't get the ball back into Trincao. Lovely 1-2 work there, but just couldn't equate to a goal. So as you can see on the screen, I am going to update the live scores. So on the bottom of the screen, I'll kind of update it every 5 minutes so you can roughly see what's going on in the background. And hopefully tonight we'll get our first goal early on. Of course, you can see Bruges getting a 2-1 win against Zenit St. Petersburg in their first game and also a 2-0 win for Juventus tonight. So we have had a couple of goals across the board, which is very good to see. And hopefully we can replicate that tonight with a couple of goals across the board. I mean, there's some great games going on. You can see, Chelsea taking on Sevilla. That's a fantastic match within itself. Lazio and Dortmund, two powerhouses in European football over the last couple of seasons. PSG Man U, probably the biggest game of the night on paper. But we'll have to find out what happens. And of course, do put in the chat some of your thoughts and opinions throughout the show. It helps me a hell of a lot when you guys put in some questions and things like that to cover us over the 90 minutes. But before I look at your comments and see what's happening, we've got a free kick here for Barcelona, about 30 yards out, Messi standing over it, and usually we see Messi magic. He takes the shot, And he tries to get it into that top left-hand corner, but it's a very, very simple save for the Ferencváros goalkeeper Debouche there. Just a simple cash. But early testing chances there for Barcelona. It's a very good start indeed. And of course, you would expect them tonight to kind of dominate for large spells of the match. But we've had a little opportunity, actually, in the Leipzig-Istanbul game. There's been a corner in the 5th minute. The ball is whipped into the box by Nkunku. Upamecano gets his head onto it. The opportunity is hit low, and Gunok is able to just punch the ball away. But a couple of decent chances early on for RB Leipzig. Hopefully, maybe we might be able to see something going on there. But the good news is we've had our first goal of the night. It's between Lazio and Dortmund. Who's it to, Rowan? He's shaking his head. Is it being ruled out?
No, it's a goal. It's for Lazio, and it comes from, I think it's a Munir mistake. I'm just going to get the numbers up. It's come from a Munir mistake. He's tried to play it close to Bellingham, but Bellingham was under press by Lucas Leiva. Leiva does well. Sticks the ball through to Correa. Correa holds it enough to play the ball through to Ciro Immobile. Immobile controls it, puts it straight past Hits, and what a mistake there by Munir. He tries to pass it to Bellingham. Bellingham is undercovered by Lucas Leiva. And, well, goal for Lazio. And they've had the better flurries. I think what I said at the start, the worry for Dortmund will be on your players not playing in either their positions or being caught out, because you do have them open pockets of space in areas. And that's what happened. Munir trying to play it through to Bellingham. It's his first game, and just a poor decision from a man who you would have thought would have be a consistent player for them. 1-0 Lazio. And
it's a great start for Lazio because, of course, they're going to be under a little bit of pressure tonight to try and get a good result. And if they can, start off in the first 10 minutes with a goal, which they have, they're at home, it puts them in a great position to be able to get the first 3 points.
Sancho's done well here. He's found a bunch of open space. It's Axel Witsel. He'll take it all the way out to the wide to Guerrero. Still Guerrero. Sancho's turned his man. Outside the box is blocked well.
Oh, I thought maybe we were going to get an equalising goal very quickly there. Thank you very much, Rowan. First goal of the night to Lazio, but there might be another chance here. Rowan is just keeping his eye out.
Sancho's weaving his way through. Still weaving. He can't get the crossing. And then Lazio do eventually get it cleared. There you go. There we go.
A dramatic start in that game. Thank you very much, Rowan. A great start tonight for Lazio, of course. First time they've been in the Champions League for a couple of years now, and they've really started their Champions League campaign with a nice early goal in that match, which is always fantastic to see. So 1-0 there. First goal of the night. But let's have a quick look at the chat. Let's see what you guys have been saying, of course. While we've got a little bit of time to have a look. Tim is in the chat. Hope you're all good, Tim. Apologies for not seeing a couple of your messages till now. He says, Dortmund to beat Lazio 3-1. Well, they've got the first goal on the first goal of the night, Lazio, so technically he's still on for that. PSG to beat Manchester United 3-0. Could be a heavy drubbing there. Chelsea 2, Valencia, Sevilla 1. And then have a look at a couple of other things as well. Tim said, is this the first time a Hungarian club has been in the Champions League? There was a Hungarian club in 2009, 2010. That was the last time there was a Hungarian club in the competition. But for Ferencváros, it's the first time they've been in it, I think, since 1992 or 94. It was one of the two. It was definitely in the 90s either way. But it's quite interesting to see a couple of Hungarian sides in this competition, of course. Powerhouses of European football back in the day. In fact, the team that they're facing off against tonight, they haven't had previous experience against Barcelona, but they do have to face Juventus, which Ferencváros kind of have actually beaten in the past. It was a long time ago, back in the 60s, but they beat them, and you never know. I mean, past European history, could it happen again? Probably doubtful, but for a team like Ferencváros, they'll just be absolutely delighted that they get to play against some of the biggest sides in European football. And of course, they'll just be delighted that they're in the Champions League either way. The only side that actually started off from the very first qualifying fixture, which is very interesting to see indeed. So just have a look at a couple of the games going on right now as it currently stands. Ferencváros coming through on goal. They do actually have a chance here. And it's in! Ferencváros have taken the lead. And he's rolled offside. What's he doing? Tokmak, he was through on goal, and it was a glimpse of where Barcelona's weakness at the back was. And I mean, this has to be checked. We are talking again here about a very marginal offside decision, and it was just plenty of open space at the back. A long ball towards Tokmak. He's fuming right now with a linesman. He thinks he's onside. I think he's onside, and I don't think they're going to give it. It is going to be checked, and it's not being given. And that is so unlucky. Even Bonaldo got excited. I thought Ferencváros got the first goal of the night, and for a team that are going to be the underdog in every game that they play, very nearly made it 1-0 against Barcelona, which, let's be honest, they've not really had a great deal of possession in this match so far. It was their first major chance, and he's giving it as an offside. What's he doing? And Barcelona are coming forward now, and they're going to get a free kick. Messi fouled about 30 yards out from the middle of his goal. This could be a great opportunity for Messi to instantly make it 1-0 to Barcelona just after that chance. And a Sadio Mane offside, I think you could say. I'm surprised that one hasn't been checked a little bit more. I mean, from the angle, from what I've seen, the camera was facing upwards, looking down, so it's very hard to be able to kind of see straight on. Obviously, you can have the camera angle where you can see directly where the player is, but I couldn't see. And, a major chance there for Ferencváros to make it 1-0. It would have been an incredible moment for them, but unfortunately, nothing coming of it. Rowan has had a chance in this game, but I'm going to bring him back in a moment because Lionel Messi has got a free kick here from 35 yards out, which he's going to hit, and it's over and wide. So let's quickly go to Rowan because there's been a chance in this game. Lazio currently 1-0 up against Borussia Dortmund. Who had the chance, Rowan?
Hold up. It was Dortmund. It was a corner. Jadon Sancho whips it in. Finds Psg in here because the space, and Psg just heads it, looking like he's just going to head over Strakosha, and he just does incredibly well, just to pip it over the bar. But Lazio came on the counter attack, but it slowed down a lot.
Thank you very much, Rowan.
Dortmund to equalise.
Do you think that they have? Well, they've got plenty of time to get back into it, but have they kind of changed the game up a little bit in the last couple of minutes to try and push?
Nah, they're sticking to the game plan. I think one issue is Haaland had a great chance. He was 1-2, but he had no one with him. It took, I don't know who it was. It might be Marco Reus. It came from a corner. There was just no one, fortunately, supporting him.
Very unlucky indeed. Thank you very much, Rowan. We'll bring you back in a little bit when there's a couple more chances. 1-0 currently to Lazio in that game. We've had another chance, though, of course. The biggest game of the night, technically on paper. Psg Nil Manchester United 0. Question is, who's had the first chance of the night, KD?
Well, it should be PSG 1, Manchester United 0. Two absolutely outstanding saves from David De Gea. The first one is Di Maria picks it up outside the box, curls an effort towards goal, and you know when Di Maria strikes it, it's probably going to the top corner. Fingertip save by David De Gea, and then from the resulting corner, the ball got whipped in, and Kazawa had a free volley inside the area, and it's a really good save from De Gea, reactionary. Maybe he's back to his best. It's been a very good start to this game, though, so far, 12 minutes in.
That's what we like to see. Thank you very much, KD. Of course, it's the kind of the biggest match of the night. You know, PSG making the Champions League final last year, only just missing out in what was a very tight final, you have to say. And Manchester United, they're going to be under a lot of pressure to get a result and, of course, make it out of the Champions League group stages. It is a very tough group, of course, because they are in the group alongside RB Leipzig and Istanbul Saxa here. And just very quickly to update you on that game, kind of watching it in the background when I can. It is Leipzig that's dominating for large spells of this game. In fact, they're just coming forward now. It's Angelino whipping a ball into the box. Poulsen's gone down in the box, calling for a penalty. It is going to reach him, but it is eventually going to land into the path of Halstenberg, who finds himself up top, does get a slight touch on the ball from a header, but it goes straight to the hands of Gunop. So a little chance there, but so far, not really much going on in that game. As for Barcelona and Ferencváros, I do have to say the Hungarians are looking dangerous tonight. It was another opportunity. Zubkov on the left-hand side, bombing forward, had acres of space to run into. And I have to say, when Ferencváros come forward, Barcelona looked very nervous at the back. And he tried to whip the ball into the path of Nguyen, the number 10, just couldn't reach it. But I've got to say, there is potential chance tonight for Ferencváros to really open up this Barcelona side. And we've seen it before. Slavia Prague last year, they got a 0-0 draw against Barcelona. Did very well against them. Can Ferencváros do the same tonight or one better? We'll have to find out. But in his first 15 minutes, they're doing very well to ride the storm. Tim has said, keep your heads up, Ferencváros. Done it once, you can do it again. And absolutely, I do feel like, if there's a couple of other opportunities tonight, they have to make the most of them when they come, because it will be a very slim amount of opportunities, of course. And they already had the ball pretty much nearly in the back of the net, but he was given us an offside, which was a real shame. And hopefully we can have a goal tonight for Ferencváros. Even if it is a consolation goal, it would just be nice for them to be able to get something on the board in their game tonight. But it sounds like a cracking game so far, because we're going back to Rome once again. Lazio and Dortmund, another big opportunity. What's happened in the match, Roman?
It's Ciro Immobile. He finds himself just breaking past the Dortmund defence again. He turns his body to get himself, prime himself for the shot. And it's Delaney who makes a lovely recovery challenge. As soon as Immobile lifts his leg, Delaney slides in, makes the block. And, it's Guerrero's just played an absolute horrid pass. It's Correa through to Immobile, and it comes out. Dortmund are looking shaky. Very shaky here.
Nervous times for them indeed. Thank you very much, Rowan. Rowan's covering the Lazio-Dortmund game, 1-0 to Lazio currently. And just as there was a couple of opportunities in that game, we do have a goal in Manchester United's group. It isn't in that PSG game, though. It is RB Leipzig. They're 1-0 up against FC Krasnodar. And what a finish from the former Manchester City man, Angelino, who finds himself in the striker position. It's a long ball from Kevin Campbell that's lofted all the way into the path of the Spanish fullback. He takes a touch and he curls the ball into the back of the net. Gunnock can do absolutely nothing about the opportunity. And it's a great, great goal that puts RB Leipzig into the lead in their game against Istanbul Saxa here. Great start for them indeed. I'm just going to quickly change that to an RBL. There we go. And of course, it's a finish for that former Manchester City man. Angelino was at the club last season on loan. He's back there once again. And, well, he's been fantastic since he's been in the Bundesliga. So great to see him get onto the score sheet. So 1-0 to RB Leipzig. You would expect a couple more goals in that game. But it's been a fantastic start already to the Champions League tonight. Lazio 1-0 up. Leipzig currently 1-0 up. A few little chances in this Barcelona game. Not really heard much from the Chelsea game so far. A little bit quiet there. And then looking at the stats of the Rennes Krasnodar game, still currently 0-0 in that match. Not really much to talk about. Stade Rennes being the better of the two sides in that fixture. So if you are new to the stream, as always, do leave a like and a subscription. It is very, very greatly appreciated indeed. We are going to be doing this Champions League goal show a hell of a lot more throughout the rest of the Champions League. In fact, every single match day, we're going to try and do it as best as we possibly can, covering every game and every goal live. Of course, you'll be able to join the boys tomorrow, which Rowan will be actually hosting the show tomorrow because I'm not going to be here. But we are going to have the other set of fixtures tomorrow for match day 1. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens there. A couple of big fixtures going on tomorrow night. Of course, Liverpool playing, Manchester City playing as well. Real Madrid, I think, are playing early. So there's a couple of very good games indeed going on. So do keep your eyes out for that once again tomorrow at 7:45 UK time on the Sports Corner YouTube channel. But Tim has put in the chat, Man U looking a little bit sloppy. Can't keep any possession, giving the ball away very easily, of course. Doesn't sound too good there for Manchester United in this first opening moments. But Ferencváros coming forward here, a ball just guided towards Israel on the far left, right-hand side, sorry. What can he do here? He's going to try and opt to play the ball long, which he then changes his mind. He's going to get it towards Saiga. He's going to play it back, and the chance there for Ferencváros just goes amiss. And they're looking really good. I've got to say, fair play to them. They are, coming up and doing very, very well indeed in this first 20 minutes, keeping Barcelona at bay, of course, which I don't think many people expected tonight. And they've gone long ball here. And there's another chance for Ferencváros to come forward. It's towards Israel. And he's in the ball. He's in the bar. Could it not be Ferencváros's night tonight? They've just hit the bar. And, well, Israel, he's got his hands on his head. He's so gutted because they could have been 2-0 up. And it's a gift of an opportunity for the Hungarians. And, he's so unlucky. Neto was beaten. And we really could have been saying that Ferencváros had taken the lead. But they haven't. And it's another chance that goes wide. And talking about a chance, we are going to go over to KL. We've had the first chance of the night. Chelsea taking on the Europa League winners Sevilla. Who's had that first chance in the game, KL?
It was the Europa League winners. It was Sevilla. It was a free kick about 30 yards out. which Suso took. It was in swinging with his left foot. But Jorginho has to be careful because that's his second foul of the night and he's already on a yellow card. So arguments for a sending off. But they whip it in. Gedelge wins the header at the back post. But then there's a deflection in the middle. And, if it's Kepa, it might go in. But Mendy's diving to his right. Strong palmed away with his left. Good save by Mendy. It's hard to see who's made the better start. It's been very even, but that's the first chance.
Thank you very much, KL. I had my mic muted there for a second. I'm very lucky there. We've had another goal elsewhere. Angelino is at the double, Kieran. He's got two.
He's got a new lease of life thingy. Maybe he's got a future as a striker as well.
He has indeed, because he's found himself in the striker position again, and it's Yusuf Poulsen with an assist. So Leipzig are 2-0 up. But thank you very much for the update. Currently 0-0 in your game. And hopefully we'll get a few more chances in the match. Thank you very much. But yeah, at least I realised that my mic was on mute. We all make mistakes sometimes. It's not a Sports Corner live stream without a mistake now, is it? But yeah, as I said before, Leipzig 2-0 up against Istanbul Saxa here. Angelino with a double. It's a mistake from Istanbul. I think it was Kavecki that gave the ball away in the midfield. Poulsen drives forward on that left-hand side, lays the ball off in towards Angelino, who has a simple tap in. 2-0 to the good, and it's fantastic indeed. RB Leipzig absolutely flying in their game with 2 early goals, but we've had chances elsewhere. It's drama across the Champions League tonight, although there might be a chance here for Barcelona, a long-range effort which has gone wide. We're going to first go over to KD because PSG and Man U still 0-0. Who's had that chance, KD?
The ironic jeers, because Manchester United were given a penalty, but Keylor Navas, cheeky little Keylor Navas, has saved it.
Who took the penalty? That's the question. Is it Bruno?
Who took the penalty? Oh, yeah, it was Bruno. Now, I'm not sure what's happening here. Maybe it might be getting retaken. They are going to the VAR. Neymar is absolutely... You can go to Rowan if you want while we sort this bit out.
That's all right. We'll bring KD back in a moment. It's currently 0-0. Could have a penalty for Manchester United, but we're going to go to Rowan because the chances galore. I can see him say chance. What's going on, Rowan? It sounds like a mental game.
Well, so Dortmund had a chance to equalise up. It was Haaland who plays a lovely through ball through to Raphael Guerreiro. And Guerreiro just takes a bit of an extra up and Strakosha makes a lovely save. And then Lazio come the other... It's a goal! It's a goal for Lazio. Well,
2-0.
So it comes from the corner. Further, the corner's won by Correa, who latches onto a Delaney mistake where Delaney just couldn't handle the ball. And Correa shoots and hits, makes a lovely save. But I'm just seeing who it is, but the corner comes in. I don't know who it's in. And it's Luis Felipe who heads it. He just beats. I think it's Piszczek to the ball. Corner's whipped in. It's a lovely corner. Oh, and it's Haaland misses it. And I think Piszczek, yeah, I'm right. Piszczek loses man. It's Luis Felipe, though, who beats Piszczek to the ball, and it's 2-0. And Lazio deserve it. They've been the better side so far.
Unbelievable. Thank you very much, Rowan. I'll talk about Lazio in a second because there's been another chance. There's a penalty, and it has been equated to a goal. PSG, Man U. Man U 1-0 up.
They are. The replay of the penalty showed that Keylor Navas was probably about a couple of feet off his line when the original penalty got taken. Bruno Fernandes, the absolute shithouse that he is, puts it in the exact same spot. And Manchester United have the lead in Paris. Undeserved, I will say, though. They have been absolutely all over us, but 1-0.
Thank you very much, Katie. That is all that matters right now. Manchester United are 1-0 to the good against Paris Saint-Germain. It doesn't matter about the performance as long as you're bagging the goals, of course. Bruno Fernandes, the ever-present Portuguese midfielder, scoring the penalty in that game to put Manchester United 1-0 to the good. Good start for them, although, as Kieran said, maybe not the most impressive in terms of how they've played so far. And of course, Rowan, we went to him a moment ago. Lazio 2-0 to the good. What a way to return to the Champions League. 2 goals in that match, doing very, very well indeed against Borussia Dortmund right now. And there's going to be worries for Borussia Dortmund. A questionable lineup, you could have said, in some certain positions, but they're 2-0 down. And they have got a lot of work to do if they want to get back into that game early on, of course. You can see on the bottom of the screen, we're now 25 minutes into these matches. As it currently stands on the night, of course, Zenit and Bruges played out a 2-1 win for Bruges. In the 93rd minute, Bruges won that game. Fantastic for them, their first Champions League match of the season, of course. Dinamo Kiev losing 2-0 to Juventus. But in terms of the matches right now, the live games, Leipzig 2-0 up against Istanbul Saxa here. 2 goals from Angelino in that game. 2 goals in 5 minutes for the Spanish fullback. Great start for him. Stade Rennes 0, Krasnodar 0. Not really much going on in that game so far. It's been a very tightly contested match, but Rennes looking the better of the two sides. Lazio, of course, we said a moment ago, 2-0 up against Borussia Dortmund, which is fantastic for them when they return to the Champions League. Chelsea 0, Sevilla 0. A couple of small opportunities in that game, but still no goal so far in that match. Of course, Manchester United 1-0 to the good against Paris Saint-Germain, courtesy of that Bruno Fernandes retaken penalty after Keylor Navas was found to be off his line. And then Barcelona 0, Ferencváros 0. But you could make that Barcelona 1, Ferencváros 0 in a moment, because Barca have a penalty and Messi has gone down in the box. It's a foul. I think it's coming from Kovacevic, and the referee points to the spot. I'm just looking at this right now. It's the correct decision from the referee. He has the right to go for the ball there, Kovacevic, but he just mistimes his tackle. He takes Messi down, and we could have the first goal of the night between Barcelona and Ferencváros. And well, in these first 25 minutes, Ferencváros, they've had 2 chances of their own. One goal which was given as an offside and a chance that hit the post. But could Messi get his first goal of this Champions League campaign? We'll find out here. Of course, he is coming up against the goalkeeper, De Boer, who could make a big name for himself here if he saves the penalty. But let's find out here, of course. Messi, cool, calm and collected, as he always is, steps up to the spot. The referee blows his whistle, takes a touch there, and it says the bottom right-hand corner. 1-0 to Barcelona, and of course, who else but Lionel Messi? And he took a little extra touch as he walked up to the penalty, but he's cool, calm and collected as always. Puts into the bottom right-hand corner. No chance for De Boer to save it. Barcelona takes a 1-0 lead against Ferencváros, who still, even 1-0 down, could feel like they could get back into the game. As I said before, they had that chance which hit the post, courtesy of Isael on that right-hand side. But of course, all that matters right now is that Barcelona have a lead at the Camp Nou, even if they've not been majorly convincing in this first 25 minutes. So let's have a look at the chat right now. Of course, apologies for leaving some of your comments, just finding out what you guys have said. Tim saying I'm so bored of Man U and their penalties. But I'm saying it's a charity penalty. PSG turn on now. Martial made a meal out of the challenge. And then looking at a couple of other things as well. Definitely a pen on Messi. Looks back and pokes his leg back. I do agree with you on that one. Spot on decision there from the referee in the game. And then Sasha's in the stream. He says, hello, people. How are you doing, Sasha? Hope you're all good, buddy. Welcome to the Champions League Goal Show. Nice to see you as always. And of course, if you are new, do leave a like and subscription as always. We're doing our Goal Show throughout the entirety of the Champions League. So if you are new and you can't access the games and you want to have a bit more of a chilled out Goal Show compared to a BT Sport or an ESPN, wherever you watch your coverage, whether you live in the UK, America, so on and so forth, then do leave a subscription, because we are trying to get towards 1,300 subscribers on the channel. But Barcelona coming forward here, we might have another chance. Dest lays the ball off to Frankie de Jong, who's bombed down on that left-hand side of the pitch, gets the ball towards Ansu Fati, who does get a touch on the ball, but it's only a slight touch, and it's wide of the post, and it's a good opportunity for Barcelona there. And, well, Rowan said there should have been a goal in the Lazio game. I am going to come to him. I know it hasn't been given as a goal, but what's happened, Rowan? Because this game, in this first kind of half an hour, has been monstrous.
Meunier's just missed from 10 yards. Literally, Dortmund are finding their feet in the game now. Haaland's been working that left side of the pitch so well. Ooh, Bellingham's gone down, clutching his knee. Never mind, he's played to the referee. Sorry. But the opportunity, Haaland does lovely. He takes it to the left wing. He waits for people this time. Cross it in. It misses Royce. Royce leaves it to Meunier. Meunier aches of space. And just Strakosha's far right of the net. The far left side of the net's open. And he skewers it wide. It should be 2-1. Should be 2-1. Meunier, Lazio being let off there. They have got a dangerous free kick, Dortmund here, but I doubt anything will come for it.
That's all right. Thank you very much, Rowan. For now, Lazio still 2-0 to the good in their game against Dortmund. We're only about half an hour in, and they've had the perfect start to their Champions League campaign, of course. It'd be quite interesting to look at the groups again. I think there'll be a few people who might have forgot some of the groups and how they are laid out. So we will have a look in a little bit. But 2-0 to the good, and hopefully it looks like with that game, we could see some more goals tonight. It's been a fantastic start, probably the game of the night in terms of how it's panned out so far, with another hour of action to go. But we've had another chance here for Barcelona. Once again for Ansu Fati, finds himself just outside of the box towards the far left-hand side. He takes a shot from long range. However, the shot is hit not with a great deal of trajectory. He's hit low and on the ground, and it's a simple save for the goalkeeper, Debouge, and it still stays 1-0 in this match as it currently stands. But you can see on the screen, half an hour into these games, a couple of goals across the board right now. Barcelona 1-0 up against Ferencváros, courtesy of Lionel Messi. Chelsea 0, Sevilla 0. It is pretty much one of the only games on the night so far to not have a goal. Of course, the other one is Stade Rennes versus Krasnodar. Still waiting for a goal in that game. Of course, Lazio 2-0 up against Borussia Dortmund. Manchester United against all the odds are 1-0 up against Paris Saint-Germain, courtesy of that Bruno Fernandes penalty. And Leipzig 2-0 up against Istanbul Saxa here. Angelino, with the performance of the night so far, he's got 2 goals. He's on for a hat-trick, and he's playing as a left-back tonight. So I'm interested to see if he tries to push up the field a little bit more and seal the match ball in the Champions League group stages, which would be fantastic for him indeed. But just to keep you updated with the Rennes game, of course, not one of the games tonight we're necessarily watching. I have got my eyes on the Leipzig game when I can, but looking at the stats tonight, Stade Rennes have 64% possession so far, 6 shots, 2 on target, compared to Krasnodar's 3 shots, 0 on target. Of course, Stade Rennes featuring in the Champions League for the first time in their club's history, which is incredible for them. And Krasnodar, they featured in this tournament before, but came through courtesy of the Champions League playoffs. So not really much going on there tonight in that game, but we'll keep you updated if the goals do go in over time. But let's have a look at the chat, see what you guys have been saying. But I was saying about Tottenham, being unhappy with them, but hopeful, of course. You never know how Tottenham's season's going to go. Although they have dropped a few points here and there. And Tim's put Werner looking dangerous. Just can't seem to, just can't provide the final product right now in that game between Chelsea and Sevilla, which, of course, on paper tonight, that is an incredible game within itself. You know, 2 very good sides. Chelsea spending a lot of money in this summer transfer window to bring in the likes of Kai Havertz and Timo Werner and Thiago Silva. And Sevilla, of course, they're going to have a lot of expectation on them after winning the Europa League. They will not, well, actually, you could say they will not want to go down to the Europa League, but I think they'd be quite happy if they did, so they could, claim it once again. But of course, they'd like to go on a run in the Champions League, but we'll have to find out what happens there. We've got a chance here, though, for Barcelona. It's Francisco Trincao on the right-hand side coming forward. Tries to lay a ball into the box towards Messi. It's cleared away, but it will come back to Barcelona once again, and it's with Dest, who lays it off to Ansu Fati. And nothing comes of it. No real chance there from Barcelona. But there has been a slight change in that game between Chelsea and Sevilla. An injury. Sergi Gomez has come off, injured for Joan Jordan. So a slight change there for Sevilla, of course. Not good for them to have to take someone off in that game early on with an injury. But as Tim has said, severe injury by the looks of things. Hopefully, nothing too serious there for Sergi Gomez. Joan Jordan coming on, which is interesting to see. But still 0-0 in that game as it currently stands. Have to find out what happens there. It does seem a little bit quiet so far in that game. Hopefully we do get a couple of chances too. But there is a couple of other games going on tonight, not just in the Champions League as well. There's some championship action going on tonight. Keeping an eye out on Rotherham. Of course, my local team, still 0-0 in that game. We're probably going to lose in the 90th minute like we always do, but that is championship action going on at the same time. But Sasha, that's who scored for Manchester United. Bruno Fernandes was the goal scorer in that game with a penalty, which was retaken. Bernardo said, I feel like this Barca side is really missing the quality that Suarez brought. And I do agree with you, because although Barcelona are 1-0 up as it currently stands, I do still feel like they're lacking a little bit up top. And of course, Messi can play there, no problem. But I do like Francisco Trincao, but I think he's a little bit too early for him to really be able to show himself as a player. And of course, he's nowhere near the quality of Lionel Messi, is he now? He's going to have a lot of time to develop as a player, but of course they are missing that player like a Neymar or a Suarez up top who could get an extra 15, 20 goals a season. And it's a big test for Barcelona over the next kind of year on how they do, because they won't be bringing in a big striker in January. So how are they going to cope with the likes of Trincao and Coutinho and Fati playing a little bit more? And Messi's through here on goal. He's coming into the box, trying to dance and weave his way around the Ferencváros defence. He doesn't, and it's some good defending at the back, but he's going to find his way towards Trincao, who guides the ball towards Fati in the box, who takes the shot on, and it's a simple save for the Ferencváros goalkeeper, Debuj. It's just guided straight at him. It's a low-driven shot. That's a simple save for the Hungarian goalkeeper, and another chance that goes wide for Barcelona just inside of the box from Ansu Fati, who has had a fair couple of chances tonight in that first 35 minutes. But just a quick update in the PSG Manchester United game. There has been a yellow card given to Neymar for arguing with the referee. So it's a very Neymar thing to do, isn't it? Get yellow carded for arguing with the referee there. But yellow card, he's going to have to watch out in his game, of course. Doesn't want to get himself sent off, especially with how early it is in the game. Of course, that'd be the last thing the PSG want when they're currently 1-0 down to Manchester United. But we'll have to see what happens. But Messi's through on goal here. It's surely a one-on-one. And he's hit the bar. Oh, well, it's a very un-Messi thing to do. He's one-on-one with the keeper. He's not tried chipping him. It's a powerful effort. He's hit the bar, but in the end, the linesman has flagged it for offside. So he's a little bit lucky to a certain extent that it has been flagged as an offside, because that was a very un-Messi-esque finish there towards the left-hand side of the near post. And 9 times out of 10, you'd expect Messi to be sticking that into the back of the net. And Debuj is completely beaten. There's no chance he's getting to the ball, but doesn't end up in the back of the net. And he's given us an offside. So Ferencváros fight for another day, but they're coming forward once again here. Trincao flicking the ball up, but doesn't lead to anything. And Rowan has just said there was a corner for Lazio. Luis Alberto nearly scored from the corner. Well, we've seen it before. I mean, Hakim Ziyech has tried it a couple of times in the past. In fact, I believe he did score actually one time from a corner. But Luis Alberto trying his best impression there. Very nearly made it 3-0, which would have been absolutely unbelievable quality goal in the Champions League to kickstart Matchday 1. And there's been another yellow card as well in the Manchester United game. This time, a card for Scott McTominay. So he's gone into the book there. So a couple of yellow cards coming out in that match within the first 35, 40 minutes. But I was put, is Cavani still in quarantine or just lacking match fitness? I think KD will probably know more than me. I think it's probably to do with quarantine or, well, it might be fitness actually more than anything. And then Tim's put, it could have been a legit foul on Mbappe that Neymar was arguing for, which wasn't given. So, of course, a couple of interesting decisions there in the game. But Ferencváros are coming forward here. And this is a great chance for Zubkov, who takes the shot on first time. And, well, it was not a good effort at all from Zubkov. It was a counter-attack from Ferencváros. And it was Nguyen, who's been lively in this first 40 minutes, who was racing forward, gets a touch on the ball, spins long lay, lays the ball into Zubkov, who, to be fair, the ball is a little bit heavy for Zubkov, but I think he could have done a little bit better. Gets inside the box on that left-hand side of the post, takes the shot on, I think, his weak foot, and it rolls away from goal. And, well, a little bit of a poor chance there. And a very rare opportunity. As Barca come forward, Trincao curls an effort. He's had a couple of good opportunities tonight. And that is a very good save indeed from Debuj. Really good save. Gets his left hand, just pushes it away from goal. And it's a lively match, this one. A lot of opportunities indeed. But we are going to give it to KD because there has been a chance in that PSG Manchester United game. And the question that was being asked, he's only trained twice, Cavani, which is probably why he's not in the lineup today. But who's had that chance, KD?
Yeah, just before we talk about a chance, we have got a corner. I'll commentate over this bit and then we'll talk about a chance. Tellers does whip it in. And McTominay's there and it's, how's that not gone in? Martial,
I thought you were going to say 2-0 there.
Martial is back to goal. If it had turned around, it was 2-0. But the subsequent chance that led to the corner, Bruno Fernandes picks it up about 25 yards out. Typical Bruno Fernandes effort, curls it. You know he's going to shoot from anywhere. And it looks destined for that bottom right-hand corner, sorry. And Keylor Navas pulls out a great save. It has gone out for another corner, by the way. I thought it came off Martial. It's actually come off Diallo. So the corner is going to be whipped in again by Tellers, who's started very well. He whips this one in towards the head of McTominay again, and it's just gets under it, and it's still 1-0. But encouraging signs since we've gone 1-0 up. We've played better.
I thought we were going to be saying 2-0 there. I thought McTominay snuck it away. And then, of course, Bernardo asked the question about Cavani. Hasn't trained a great deal, has he?
No, he's only trained twice, I think. So that's why he's not come. But there is the young Argentinian winger that we signed, Pelistri, is on the bench. I'm excited to see if he gets a run out on the pitch today, maybe a little bit later on.
You never know. We'll have to find out in a little bit. But thank you very much, KD. 1-0 still to Manchester United. It could have been 2 if McTominay put that chance away. But of course, you can always look back at certain kind of opportunities and say, should he have put that away? Should he have put that away? And, things like that. It could be a different game. But they're in the lead right now, and that's all that matters, of course. They maybe haven't played the strongest today. Of course, they've got a little bit better in this last kind of 15 or 20 minutes. But they're 1-0 up, and that's all that matters, because it is a tough group indeed. Because as it currently stands, RB Leipzig 2-0 to the good against Istanbul Saxa here. And Saxa here do have a free kick in a very decent position that you would expect the ball to be lofted towards Chivelli. And I think we've had a goal in the Barcelona game. I'm going to check that in a second just to make sure. I think Ansu Fati has just scored, but the free kick is hit, and it's just pushed away from Galacki, but the linesman there hasn't given it, as I say, from Galacki. And it is indeed 2-0 to Barcelona, and it is the man that has been knocking on the door for the last kind of 15 or 20 minutes with plenty of opportunities. It is Ansu Fati, the youngster. And I am going to see the replay here because, of course, I was checking that other chance in the Leipzig game, but it's some lovely work from Frenkie de Jong. He's about 35 yards out from goal. He notices the run of Ansu Fati, and what a ball this is from the Dutch midfielder. He sees the space that Ansu Fati can run into. He's guided the ball. It's a chipped ball towards that far left-hand side of the post. And while it's not a good connection from Ansu Fati on the ball, but it's just enough to tip it past De Bouge and make it 2-0. And surely now you think that this game is well and truly out of Ferenc Varosh's hands. And although they've done pretty decent in this first kind of 40 minutes, it looks like this one could end up with a few goals in it. And of course, most importantly, Barcelona 2-0 to the good as it currently stands in this match. Of course, Ansu Fati with the second goal in this game. And we're getting goals tonight. That's what we wanted. We wanted plenty of goals in our first set of Champions League matches. And of course, one of the only games that doesn't seem to be having goals right now is Chelsea and Sevilla. I've just seen Kale put the thumbs down because he's not getting any goals in his match. Hopefully, maybe it'll liven up in the second half or in the next 5 minutes. That'd be very good indeed. But let's have a look at the chat right now. Sasha saying play Ivan Rakitic for Sevilla. Bernardo saying great positioning for Ansu, which I definitely agree with you. As I said before, the contact wasn't the best on the ball, but it was just enough to tip it past De Bouge, and it was an even better ball from Frenkie de Jong. And well, we might have a chance here for Ferenc Varosh to come forward. It's that number 11 once again who's been coming forward, Zubkov, who finds himself in the middle, tries to lay the ball to Enguet, just doesn't get a touch, and it's another chance that goes missing for Ferenc Varosh. And as Tim has said, Fati, only 17. He's an incredible talent, really, really good player on his day, and it's just scary that he's 17 years old and he's scoring in the Champions League. And, there'll be a lot of people out there who probably wish that they were Ansu Fati, but he's living, a dream right now. And, of course, Ronald Koeman will be very, very happy indeed that he's got himself onto the score sheet. But we do have the first yellow card of the night. Eldar Sivic has gone into the book for Ferenc Varosh. And they've got a free kick here, Barcelona. Not in a good position to really be testing. Messi does play it short towards Trincao, and it doesn't lead to anything in the end. But, of course, Barcelona 2-0 to the good. They'll be trying to look to get a couple more goals in today's fixture, of course. We'll have to find out if they can indeed. But you can see right now, we are heading towards the 45th minute of tonight's game, as you can see on the screen as it currently stands. RB Leipzig 2-0 to the good against Istanbul Saxa here. 2 goals from Angelino 2 goals in 4 minutes from the Spanish fullback tonight. Very well indeed. Stan Ren and Krasnodar still currently 0-0. Plenty of chances in that game, but nothing into the back of the net. Lazio 2-0 up against Dortmund, and to be honest, it sounds like they've been battering Dortmund in this game. Could have made it 3-0 from a corner, which is quite interesting indeed. But Dortmund have got a lot of work to do if they want to get back into that game. Chelsea nil, Sevilla nil, not been the greatest of affairs so far. Of course, we'll have to talk to Kieran in a little bit because we've only had one chance to really talk about it in that game. Manchester United currently 1-0 up against PSG, courtesy of a Bruno Fernandes penalty. Not a bad performance so far from Manchester United. And of course, if they can come out with 3 points tonight, that will be massive for the English club. And then Barcelona 2-0 up against Ferencváros. And it is half-time in this game. Barcelona 2-0 to the good. And for the first 20 minutes, they looked fairly shaky, I have to admit, but they have certainly improved. And 2 goals, one from Messi, and one just before half-time from Ansu Fati means that Barcelona have a comfortable lead at Camp Nou, although Ferencváros have had a few chances of their own. So I will keep an eye out on the Leipzig game. We've got 3 minutes of additional time in that match. And of course, we are getting around half-time, Rowan, with 1 minute of additional time in his game between Lazio and Dortmund. But we'll keep our eyes out now on the Leipzig Istanbul Saxa here game. They've had a few chances today. The Turkish side, one of them did come from Shibeli, the Argentinian forward, who should have had a consolation goal kind of a couple of minutes after Angelino's second. There was a free kick that was lofted into the box, and the Argentinian got a really good header onto it, but somehow didn't get it into the back of the net. It was a good chance, which Galashki was able to push wide. A good save from the Hungarian indeed, but unfortunately, Istanbul 2-0 down in their match right now. It is now half-time between Lazio and Borussia Dortmund, and we've got 2 minutes of additional time between PSG and Manchester United. So can we get any goals in the last couple of minutes of additional time in the first half? We will have to find out, of course. It'd be interesting to see if anything does happen. But we are getting a fair share of goals tonight. And fingers crossed we can get a few more in the second half indeed, because, of course, teams like Istanbul Saxa here at Dortmund are going to have to come out a little bit more attacking in the second half if they want to come out with the first 3 points on match day number 1. Sasha's put, my favourite player in Barcelona is Miralem Pjanic. And I haven't really seen a great deal of him tonight, to be honest, but I guess either way, it's not really a bad thing, to be honest, because Barcelona have had a couple of good chances in this game. And I'll talk you through kind of what's happened in the match when we do reach half-time in the games. But we have got half-time, as I said, in Rowan's game between Lazio and Dortmund. And it is now also half-time between Chelsea and Sevilla. 0-0 in that game. Doesn't sound like there's been much going on, but we'll find out in a moment. But we've got 40 seconds left of Leipzig and Istanbul Saxa here, and it's Istanbul coming forward here. If they can get a consolation goal, it'd be very good for them just before half-time. It's a ball lofted into the box towards Edin Vizca, who can't get a touch. It's cleared away by Upamecano, and I think that's probably going to be the last chance that the Turkish side get here. Very disappointing for them in this first 45 minutes to go 2-0 down. But we are now at half-time in all of the games that we are currently watching. Manchester United 1-0 up against Paris Saint-Germain. They'll be absolutely delighted with that performance so far. And of course, if you're new to the stream, as always, do leave a like and a subscription. It is very, very greatly appreciated. Appreciated indeed. Can't get my words out. But let's talk through the fixtures at half-time, of course. It is now half-time between Leipzig and Istanbul Saxa here, so I will change that very quickly. We'll bring the boys in one by one, just have a quick talk on how their games have been going and what needs to be improved in their fixtures, because as it currently stands right now at half-time across all the fixtures, as it currently stands, Leipzig 2-0 to the good against Istanbul Saxa here, 2 goals in 4 minutes from Angelino. Stade Rennes 0, Krasnodar 0. No goals in that game yet. Rennes dominating that game. It does feel like a matter of time before the French side do take the lead in that one. Lazio 2 goals up against Borussia Dortmund. Is it a shock? I don't know. We'll ask Rowan, of course, what's happened in a little bit. Chelsea 0, Sevilla 0. Probably been the worst game of the night so far. Not been any goals as of yet in that one. Manchester United, of course, 1-0 up against PSG. And Barcelona 2-0 to the good against Ferencváros. So I think we'll go to the first game of the night, the goalless game so far, Chelsea and Sevilla. We've only really had one opportunity in this match, which we came to KL to talk about. But we'll bring him into the stream now. Has it been a bit of a dull affair?
A bit. It's half chances, Josh. I don't want to put chance in the comments to tell you that someone shot wide from 40 yards when it was a nothing chance. So maybe there's a few things that have happened in between, but nothing to report. If I had to remember one chance, it was the Mendy save, and that's about it. I'll be honest with you. No teams looked great. Werner had a chance where he was offside, where he rounded the keeper, but nothing, Josh. Honestly, mate, nothing.
Well, I'm looking at the stats right now just to kind of get a rough idea of how the game's going. For those of you that aren't watching the match, to give you a rough idea, Chelsea have had 2 shots, 1 on target, which is quite poor for a team that's got ridiculously good attack. And Sevilla have had 3 shots, 2 on target, dominating the game a little bit more possession-wise. 57% possession for Sevilla, 43% for Chelsea. What do you think both sides have to do to change this game up? Because we've already seen Sevilla have had to make a change because of Sergio Gomez's injury. What does Chelsea have to do? Because right now, when you look at the stats, they're not playing well tonight.
No, just a bit of tempo. The only person that's carrying a threat in them forward areas really is Timo Werner making runs in behind. It's that final third ball as well. They can't find the gap. They can't find the space. They tend to just be hitting Diego Carlos's legs most of the time. Reece James has created a bit of space on the right a few times, because we know them Sevilla fullbacks like to attack. But honestly, they just need to speed up a bit of tempo, maybe some quick passing move and drag players out of position rather than just playing in front of Sevilla, which is kind of the same thing for Sevilla because they're just playing in front of Chelsea. This game has been played majority in the middle of the park, keeping the ball but not faceting any chances from that.
Well, hopefully we will get a few more chances in the second half because it is still a stalemate right now, 0-0 in this game. Remember that these teams can make 5 changes in the Champions League, so we could see a whole array of changes come on, not necessarily straight away in the second half, but kind of a couple of minutes into the game, maybe 10 or 15 minutes if things stay the same. But as it currently stands, Chelsea 0, Sevilla 0. We'll bring you back in a little bit, KL. Thank you very much indeed. Hopefully we'll get some goals in that because for KL right now, it's a bit of a boring game indeed. But what hasn't been a boring game is Lazio and Dortmund. 2-0 to the good right now, Lazio. And of course, Dortmund, they've got a lot of work to do in this fixture, Owen. How good of a game has it been so far?
Been really good, back and forth. I mean, you said Lazio have been battering them. I say for the first 20 minutes, I'd agree with you, but the final 25 minutes, Dortmund are finding their feet, but they're making mistakes. There's been, and it's not like it's one specific player. A lot of the defenders have made shaky passes. Jude Bellingham has made a lot of shaky passes. Jadon Sancho has made a lot of shaky passes. It's nervy. It's really nervy from Dortmund, and Lazio have made the most. On the counter-attack is where the most dangerous. It's happened plenty of times where Haaland has tried to go for something, either it's been saved or it's gone wide or it's ran through, and Correa and Immobile will rush up the pitch. So dangerous. You haven't got the quickest defenders. You've got Guerrero, but with Guerrero and Meunier being very attacking, you haven't got quick defenders back, and unfortunately, that's become to their detriment at points in this game. And in terms of changing, I think Marco Reus should come off for Brandt. He hasn't had the best game. I haven't really seen him. That's the thing. He hasn't really been involved. So I'd sort of hope. I think Reus may come for Brandt. We might see Gio Reyna, maybe Rainier Jesus as well. It'll be interesting to see what Lucien Favre does. But in terms of Lazio, keep how you're going because it's working incredibly well.
Well, you answered my question perfectly because I was going to ask in terms of what change you can make. I've got the stats up for the game right now, and it's a very good game indeed. Of course, the 2 goals, one coming from Immobile in the 6th minute, the second goal coming from Luis Felipe in the 23rd minute. Lazio have had 8 shots, 4 on target. Dortmund have had 6 shots, 3 on target. Dortmund with 60% possession. As you said, they've tried to get their way back into this, but they need a goal fairly early on, you think, in the second half if they want to get back into this game. I don't know whether you agree with me on that one.
Yeah, they need a goal just within probably the before the 60 minutes, because if not, you are going to be chasing the game heavy. Some of the players don't look in it. Sancho has tried. The players have tried stuff, but it's been half-assed. It's like they've been trying these lovely 1-2s that have worked before, like Guerrero linking up with the left side, Meunier doing the same. But the passes just haven't had anything on them, anything of substance, and it's a worry. And again, it'll come back to Lazio are clinical in terms of their way out. They've probably been in the back foot the remainder of the first half. But that's how they should play, because as soon as Dortmund made that one mistake, Lazio are ready and pouncing on it. So just if you Lazio, stick with what you know.
Exactly. Fantastic performance from them so far. 2-0 to the good. Thank you very much, Ron. Bring you back in a little moment. Of course, Lazio, it's their first game back to the Champions League for a couple of years. Dortmund, a Champions League regular. They were knocked out by PSG last year, and it's not a good start at all for them. 2-0 down to Lazio. And it could be a very, very tricky start to their Champions League campaign. If Lazio can get any more goals, they look very, very lively indeed in their match. And another lively game of football. PSG nil, Manchester United 1. Well, there's a lot of penalties going Manchester United's way right now, but it's a deserved penalty. You could say it was retaken, of course, Keylor Navas off his line. But as it stands right now, Manchester United 1-0 to the good. It's probably their biggest game in terms of Paris Saint-Germain in their group. Of course, they're alongside Leipzig and Istanbul Saxa here. But what do you think of the first half, Kieran? Because, of course, you're a Manchester United fan, and for you, you're obviously going to feel a lot more passionate about these games than the other matches going on. But what's your thoughts on the first 45?
I think we started off really sloppy and PSG were kind of all over us. We got lucky with the goal, I'm not going to lie. The penalty is very harsh. Martial does make a meal of it. But the penalty, rightly retaken, and ever since that, we've kind of been on top of the game, I'd say. Alex Telles has been absolutely fantastic. He is such a good player. Finally, someone can actually cross a ball from the left-back position. But other than that, I think the main problem for us now is going to be the discipline, because we've got McTominay on a yellow card for making a stupid tackle that he didn't have to make. There's probably going to be another few people on yellow cards in the second half. We're going to have to weather the storm early in the second half as well and bring those players off the bench. Like I want to see Daniel James brought on in the second half just because of the pace, because we'll just be constantly on the counter-attack all the time. But yeah, big test second half, bigger than the first.
Big test indeed. I've got the stats on the screen right now for me. You can see in terms of the opportunities and chances, PSG, they've had 5 shots, 2 on target. Manchester United have had 4 shots, 2 on target. As you'd expect, PSG dominating the possession a little bit more, 59% possession for them tonight. Just looking at the bench, they've got the likes of Draxler, Marquinhos, Rafinha on the bench. As for Manchester United, of course, you've got Pogba, you've got Igalo, Van de Beek, just to name a couple of the players on the bench tonight. Is there any certain players you'd bring on, maybe? Not necessarily straight away, but to change the game up?
Like I said, I want to see Daniel James. He'll be effective in this sort of game, chasing the ball down high up the pitch with his energy. Van de Beek, I want to see Van de Beek in the second half. McTominay does need to come off as well because he's got a yellow card and I can see him getting sent off.
Well, fingers crossed for Manchester United. Bring you back in a second, KD. I've just seen Rob from a 1-0 up. Let's go, Barlaser with a penalty. It means nothing about the Champions League. It's just my local club. We're bloody fantastic until we concede the 90th minute, but I'll take it. Fuck the Forest. But yeah, right now, as it currently stands across the board, you could see Barcelona, talk about my game now, Barcelona 2, Ferencváros 0. It's been an interesting game of football, this one, because Barcelona, for large periods of this game, in the first 20 to 25 minutes, were on tenterhooks, you could say. Ferencváros actually had a goal in the back of the net, which was it was, I don't know, because the angle, from what I saw, it was facing downwards, so it's very hard to tell how far offside he was, but it looked very marginal. Didn't really spend much time on it, and the game continued on. Then kind of 5 or 10 minutes later, Ferencváros then hit the bar. It was Israel on the right-hand side who just clipped the bar. And you thought at times, Ferencváros, it just wasn't going to be their night. And as it currently stands, it certainly isn't their night. You know, Barcelona, they have dominated this this game, as you would expect. They've had 13 shots, 6 on target. Of course, Ferencváros having 3 shots, none on target. Of course, hitting the bar isn't going to count as a shot on target, sadly. But they've had their chances in that first 20 to 25 minutes. They didn't take them. And as you expect in a game like this, Barcelona just starting to run away with things a little bit. You'd expect a couple more goals coming in this game. And I predicted 5-1. Could still happen, but we'll have to find out what happens over time in the match. So that is the Barcelona game. Let's have a quick look at the comments right now, see what you guys are saying at half-time. Tim's saying about the Chelsea-Sevilla game being quite cagey. And Bembo, how are you doing? Hope you're all good, buddy. He says, I'll support Crawley, and I'm so mad about our performance. We were 1-0 up. In the 77th minute, it was 1-1. And we thought, okay, we'll take a draw versus Exeter. And then in the 84th minute, it was 2-1 to Exeter. So try being a Rotherham fan. For the last 3 games, we've dropped points in the 90th minute. We will probably do it once again and there will be tears on the stream in about 40 minutes time when we do concede in the 90th minute. But hopefully we don't do that indeed. But right now, 1-0 up Rotherham. But there's another game as well, which I've been watching in the background. RB Leipzig 2-0 up against Istanbul Saxa here. And the team that made the semi-finals last year has done a very, very good job indeed. 2 goals from Angelino. In fact, it was 2 goals in 4 minutes. The Spaniard finding himself in the striker position in numerous occasions. The first goal was fantastic. It was a great finish from the Spaniard. The second goal was a mistake in the midfield. I think it was Kavechi who gave the ball away, the Turkish midfielder. Yusuf Poulsen pounced in it, and eventually Angelino was able to tuck the ball away. But as of right now, it's an interesting game of football. Istanbul have got a lot of work to do if they want to get back into this match against the Champions League semi-finalists of last year. But we'll have to find out what happens. 2-0 to good in that one. And then, as I said, Stade Rennes 0, Krasnodar 0. Rennes with a lot of opportunities, 8 shots, 3 on target, to Krasnodar 6 shots, 1 on target. They've had 65% possession, the French side. They've got a lot of work to do. And, of course, we'll have to find out if they can get back into that match. So the players are coming out for the second half in a moment. But just before we do go into the second half, here's a quick look at some of the content that is still to come on the channel over the next couple of days. It's worth keeping your eyes out on some of these incredible fixtures. Of course, tomorrow the goal show is back once again. Rowan is going to be hosting it from 7:45, not 7:30. Keep your eyes out for that. On Thursday, Celtic versus AC Milan is the pick of the bunch for the Europa League, so you can join us for that on the 24th of October. It's Derby Day. It's El Clasico, live from 2:45 for that one. And then, of course, next week on the 27th of October, we're back once again. Groups A to D, match day 2 of the Champions League. And then the day after that, we have groups E to H from 7:45. You don't want to miss out on it. It's going to be very, very exciting indeed to see what happens in the Champions League, because we've had plenty of very interesting games so far. And I've done quite well, in fact, because we are into the second half of some of the games already, which is fantastic to see. Barcelona's kicked off. I was going to get the boys back in, but I seem to have filled the 15 minutes quite well, which usually it feels like the 15 minutes lasts forever and a day. But Barcelona back underway here as it currently stands 2-0 up against Ferencváros. It's been a very interesting game of football, this one, because I do have to say that Ferencváros have had their fair share of chances. But as it stands right now, they've still got some work to do if they want to get back into it. And more realistically, you'd probably expect Barcelona to get a few more goals in this game. But we've had a few changes in some of the other matches going on. Of course, Lazio 2-0 up against Borussia Dortmund as we speak. Change there. Reina has come on for Jude Bellingham. So one change, of course, an attacking change. Gio Reyna coming on, doing very well in the first kind of couple of games for Borussia Dortmund this season. Question is, can he make a difference in this match? Of course, as you'd expect, Borussia Dortmund going a little bit more attacking in the next 45 minutes of football. And we'll have to see as well if there's any other changes across the board. Of course, some of the games haven't technically kicked off with the second half as of yet, but we'll keep you updated with what's going on. Let's have a quick look at the chat. Aaron Armstrong says, who scored for Barca? Welcoming Aaron. The 2 goals were from Lionel Messi, which was a penalty, and Ansu Fati. Really good finish. Fantastic second goal. Great assist from Frenkie de Jong for Ansu Fati to get his first Champions League goal of the season. And Chris has put, I'm back after watching my local town Carlisle 1-1 draw with Oldham. Rowan be more happier than me with the results. Rowan, he's put his fist up. He's happy with that. He'll take a point, of course. A very good point for both sides indeed. Probably better point for Oldham more than anything. And Tim has put, not seeing out games that you were up in is more depressing than being spanked sometimes. And I can tell you one thing, Tim. As a Rotherham United supporter, I feel that every single week. It's very, very painful indeed. Absolute nightmare, because the amount of times we've dropped points is disgusting. But in the Champions League as well, it's absolutely painful. And 2 teams that I'll be really hoping that they don't do that. Lazio, of course, 2-0 to the good. And Leipzig, hopefully we don't see any kind of, teams dropping points here and there. But I guess it makes for an exciting game if they concede 3 goals. Just have a look at the chat right now. A few of the changes. PSG making a change. Moise Keane has come on against Manchester United. He's come on for Idrissa Gueye. So an interesting change there from Paris Saint-Germain. a striker coming off for a defensive midfielder. We'll have to see what happens. But they've gone for a 4-4-2 now, what KD has said. And Moise Kean, the man who couldn't get a game for Everton, is now starting a Champions League fixture against Manchester United. Crazy, I know. We live in an absolutely mad world. That's 2020 for you. But we are underway pretty much with the majority of second halves across the board. And let's see what happens in these fixtures with 45 minutes left of play. Just to give you an update in terms of the matches and the games that people are covering. I am currently covering Barcelona and Ferencváros as the main game tonight. Of course, Ferencváros featuring the Champions League for the first time since the 90s. I'm also keeping my close eye out on the Leipzig game, so I'll keep you up to date with those two matches. Chelsea and Sevilla is being covered by KL. Lazio and Dortmund is being covered by Rowan, and PSG versus Manchester United is being covered by KD. Of course, the way that we run the Champions League goal show is we bring the guys in, of course, when there's been big opportunities and, of course, goals. You have to sit here and listen to me for an hour and a half talking rubbish. And, of course, you'll see very lively me if Rotherham do score any more goals today. And if they concede, then you'll get a quite disappointed Josh for the rest of the stream. But, of course, do put your thoughts and opinions in the chat of the Champions League so far. What have you thought of the games? Which games are you watching, of course? That'd be interesting to see. And, of course, do put any questions in the chat, football and Champions League related. It would be interesting to have a few talking points when some of the games do go a little bit stale. But I'll read the comments in a second because Barcelona coming forward here. It's Trincao who's going to have a shot at the edge of the box. It's not really a good opportunity from the Portuguese forward there. It's hit with a little bit of trajectory but goes straight into the hands of De Boer. And it's another chance that will count as a shot on target, even if it wasn't really a good chance at all. But Sasha's put Juventus winning without Ronaldo. Of course, Morata scoring 2. And then Chris has put, no doubt Morata will move to Atletico or Real Madrid in the next summer transfer, like he always does. He's going on a transfer merry-go-round around 2 or 3 different clubs. And then Watchalong put, of course, against Dynamo Kiev. But yeah, good for Morata. 2 goals, and it proves that technically Juventus can kind of do it without Ronaldo, even if it is against Dynamo Kiev. But we have had a chance. We're going to go to KD, of course. He's covering tonight's game between PSG and Man U. As a fellow Man U fan, of course, KD will be hoping that they can hold on to the result tonight. But the question is, who's had the first chance of the second half, KD?
Well, I told you that we had to weather the early storm, and somehow it's not gone in. Just before the actual chance that I'm going to talk about, at the other end, Rashford was in. It was literally a 1v2, him and Martial against, I think it was Diallo. The ball to Martial, he absolutely scuffed it. I'm very disappointed in him. But the chance that I'm talking about is Kylian Mbappe. Absolutely skims and leaves on spaghetti legs Wan-Bissaka and McTominay, curls an effort towards goal, and De Gea makes another good save. PSG have got a free kick about 30 yards out, which of course Di Maria is going to be standing over. Like I said, we've just got to weather the early storm and hope that we can hit them on the counter attack. But I'm getting nervous, Josh.
Absolutely. Hold on to your hats. It's going to be a bumpy 40 minutes for you, Kenny. Thank you very much indeed. Currently stands PSG nil, Manchester United 1, but we have had a goal in one of the games that I'm watching. And well, for Ferencváros, this could get very, very dirty. It's 3-0 to Barcelona, and it's a man who's been forgotten about at the Spanish club for quite some time. And it's a fantastic goal for him. It's Philippe Coutinho, and well, it's Messi who builds up. He's on the inside of the box on the far right-hand side. He dances and weaves around the defence of Ferencváros. He lays the ball off to Ansu Fati, who backheels it to Coutinho, and then he curls it in. He's inside the box on the left-hand side. It's a classic Coutinho curling goal. Not as far out as what you'd usually expect, but it's a lovely finish. A great assist from Ansu Fati. And Barcelona are now 3-0 to the good against Ferencváros. And with, 40 minutes left of this game to go, it could get a little bit feisty in terms of how many goals are scored here. I predicted 5-1. We're still on for that, but a fantastic start for Barcelona at the Camp Nou in the second half, and it's a great goal for a player that's so underappreciated at Barcelona in Philippe Coutinho. Of course, getting a lot more starts now for the Spanish side since moving back from Champions League winning Bayern Munich. Of course, he has that Champions League winning experience that some of these Barcelona players haven't had for a couple of years, and of course, what a way to start off tonight. 3-0 to the good. And I kind of expect this one to have a couple more goals in it. But 3-0 right now for for Barcelona, they'll be absolutely delighted indeed. Team of the chat, thank you very much for the comments tonight, buddy. Hope you're all well, and thanks for them once again. He says another huge save from David De Gea in the PSG game. De Gea really trying to prove that he still has it tonight. Of course, it's a big test for Manchester United, and we came to KD a moment ago. Manchester United back in the Champions League. They're going to have a lot of expectations on them tonight to try and get 3 points on the board. It's the biggest test. And, well, right now, although they've got to weather the storm at times, they're certainly proving that they can pick up their results. And if they can hold on to this win tonight, it's a great first 3 points in the Champions League for Manchester United. And, of course, it puts PSG on the back foot, most importantly. There's some tough games on there because, of course, PSG will be once again facing up against RB Leipzig at some point. The two teams that faced off against each other in the semi-finals will face off again in the group stages, and the pressure will be on PSG, of course, if they can. If they lose the game, who knows? We are going to be seeing one of those 3 big sides going into the Europa League, which is bonkers. And then Sasha's putting, Viva Barca, of course, delighted that they are now 3-0 to the good in that fixture. Of course, we've had a chance at the RB Leipzig game. I do believe there has been a change in the match. Huang Hee-chan has come onto the pitch, and he's looked lively in these first couple of minutes. He takes an opportunity on from just outside of the box. It's a curling effort, but it's a simple save for Gunnock, who catches the ball fairly easily, but a nice testing opportunity from the South Korean forward, who will certainly be hungry to get his name on the goal sheet tonight for Leipzig. And, get them a 3-0 victory potentially. It's been a good start for them, really dominating their game, of course, at home tonight. But we are now 55 minutes in across the board. As it currently stands, Barcelona 3-0 to the good. Lazio beating Dortmund 2-0. Manchester United still in the lead. Leipzig 2-0 to the good. And Chelsea in a 0-0 draw versus Sevilla. Less really said about that. And Stade Rennes, of course, currently 0-0 against Krasnodar. In fact, just as I say that, it's now not 0-0. Chelsea's the only goalless game of the night so far, because I said at half-time that Stade Rennes were knocking on the door and they have taken the lead in their game. They've had plenty of chances tonight, but a penalty was given away, and it's their forward, Guirassy, who stepped up to the spot. It's a good, comfortable finish from the Rennes forward. And Stade Rennes are 1-0 to the good in their fixture against Krasnodar. Of course, they'll be hoping tonight that they can get their first ever Champions League victory on the board. And of course, they're on course to do that. Very, very good potential 3 points for them tonight. What a start for them, which means that the only goalless games, as it currently stands, is Chelsea and Sevilla. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we can get some goals in the next half an hour in that game. But good potential victory tonight for Stade Rennes if they can hold on with half an hour to go. But let's have a quick look at the Leipzig game as they come forward. Potential opportunity, of course. As I said, they've been dominating for large spells of play tonight, and they're not going forward now. They've actually decided to go back, but I think they will maybe get one more goal in this game. It could end 3 or 4 to RB Leipzig tonight. But KD is just putting the chat for the Manchester United game. Paul Pogba is warming up, so will we see him come on at some point? You'd expect him to. We'll have to find out, of course, over the next kind of 10 or 15 minutes whether he does come on. But we are actually going to go to KD now because there has been a chance in his game. Who's it to?
Oh, PSG just hit the crossbar. It might be, hang on, this corner's coming in from Neymar. Headed in! I think it's an own goal. I think Martial's turned it into his own net, and he has. It's 1-1. What is he doing there? But yeah, the chance just before was Kazawa. He just crossed it in and he just hit the crossbar. Nobody was there, but that is so poor. There's no need to jump there, and he's headed it into his own net, and he's scored at the wrong end. Anthony, that's the wrong end. It's 1-1.
Very disappointing there indeed. Scoring at the opposite end. Thank you very much, KD. Martial with an own goal. It's not what you want to see. As we said, Manchester United, they were going to have to weather out the storm. And well, Martial has scored an own goal, which is certainly not weathering out the storm. And of course, PSG back in the game now, 1-1, which is fantastic for the PSG fans. Not good news for the Manchester United fans, because they have been knocking at the door quite a bit. And talking about a team that's been knocking on the door, this team hasn't. Krasnodar have equalised it's 1-1, and this game is looking like it's getting better as the minutes go by. And it's Christian Ramirez, who is the Uruguayan, tends to usually play as a left back. He's playing as a left winger tonight. He's put the ball into the back of the net, and 3 minutes after Rennes had scored their first Champions League goal, Krasnodar, not really gone up the other end, but a couple of minutes later, have stuck their first Champions League group stage goal into the back of the net, and it's 1-1. Fantastic there indeed. But we've got a free kick here for Barcelona, about 30 yards out. Messi stood over this. Can he put it into the back of the net? Of course, Barcelona 3-0 up as we currently speak. Messi takes the free kick, and it deflects off the wall, which is a very rare thing for Messi to do, but not a good free kick from the Argentine at all there. But 1-1 to Krasnodar. Fantastic game this is turning out to be now. They're actually getting a little bit of a foothold in the game in terms of opportunities on goal. So we will, of course, have to see whether they can continue in that match and see if they can maybe nick a winner, which would be a shocking result indeed. But 1-1 in that game. And, of course, Krasnodar will be delighted that they've got a goal back in that match when they've not really had a great deal of possession at all. But let's have a look at the chat. Apologies, Sasha, about Nightbot. We do have it on now to stop spamming and things like that, but you only put, I don't know why it's timed you out there. I'm going to have to sort out Nightbot at some point so it doesn't really flag things up. It even flagged them. I'll have a look into that. If Sasha's, hopefully he's been unbanned, if somebody's unbanned him in the chat, but I'll look into Nightbot, see what's the problem there, because it does seem to time people out for stupid stuff. Tim's put United defence, oh dear, which is, of course, a little bit of a worrying one. I don't really think you can say much about the defence there. It's more Martial putting it in the back of his own net. And then Chris put thoughts on the European Premier League talk. I don't want to keep things as they are. And I know, of course, we had the talk about the big picture stuff, but now we've got to talk about this potential, European League thing. And as you said, Chris, I do think it's bonkers. They want to basically, these big Premier League sides, they want to push away from the rest of the big boys. And, well, it's just mad, isn't it? And I hope it doesn't happen. At the end of the day, yes, it is nice to have some, big, tough competitions. You always think in the back of your head about, Europeans elite facing off against each other in just a big, massive competition. But, it's mad. Keep the Champions League, keep the Europa League. Don't do stuff like that because you will let the big teams across European football steer away, from the smaller teams, and it'll cause a major divide. And I don't think that's fair at all. And hopefully we don't get that indeed. And it's just something that's come out of nowhere that gets crushed. Very similar to Project Big Picture in a couple of days' time. Somebody just comes up and says that it's not happening at all. But Sasha's put United score again, but this time in the wrong net. And Benala's put Martial, a true Frenchman. Allons-y, as David Tennant would say in Doctor Who, but also the fact that Martial's putting it in the back of his net. Hopefully, maybe in the next half an hour, he can turn from villain to hero and actually put a goal in the back of the net that he needs to and put Manchester United into the lead. But 1-1 in that game as it currently stands. And we're actually going to go back to KD because there has been a chance. Who's it been to, KD?
Oh, Christ, it was like poetry, Josh, just as you said it. He had the chance to head it in and he's headed it over.
Oh, I wish he came back to me and said he'd scored it. I'd have been like, it's poetry in motion.
No, it was a good cross in by Luke Shaw from left-hand side from the corner that we got given. But yeah, just seconds before that, Marcus Rashford was through again, literally one-on-one with the goalkeeper, and he let Danilo Pereira catch up with him. I don't know why he's just refrained to pull the trigger. He's not having a good one tonight, is Rashford. But PSG now are getting back into this game, and I said 2-1. It's looking likely. Moise Kean into the box. Wan-Bissaka's taking him down. Great tackle. Get up. There we go. 1-0.
We love the passion. We love to see it. And as you said, you've got about under half an hour left to go. Yeah. We'll probably see a couple of changes soon, but 1-1. Thank you very much.
Just wait a second.
I'm going to stay.
Rashford on the volley. Never mind. Never mind.
Unlucky. We love the passion. Thank you very much, KD. It sounds like a very good game indeed. 1-1 as it currently stands between Manchester United and Paris Saint-Germain. Of course, Martial with the own goal there nearly went up the other end and then actually scored a goal in the right net, which would have been poetry in motion, as I said before. But 1-1 as it currently stands. surely somebody's got to get a winner in that game, because on paper it's the two biggest teams in that group, and you want to get off to a good start. Get the first 3 points on the board, take the lead in the group. Mainly, of course, already Leipzig 2-0 to good. And talking about them right now, they're coming through on goal. It's Hwang Chan trying to lay a ball into, I think it was the path of Tyler Adams who's come on. He's just missed an opportunity, and it's been given as an offside anyway, so the chance wouldn't have counted anyway at all. But let's have a quick look at the comments right now. Chris has said Krasnodar sounds like a team name from Harry Potter, where you get transferred into each school at the start, like Team Sibling. Tim has said Chelsea have started to wake up a little bit in that match. Benalla says, glad to see Keane playing. Tough time at Everton. That moment with Duncan Ferguson was very disrespectful. And Chris said, only United fan I've heard being passionate. We do love a bit of passion on the channel. That's what it's all about. Bit of passion, bit of flair. And of course, we don't tend to usually do a lot of watch-alongs with the teams that we support, but it's always nice to do the goal shows and things like that and be able to hear the passion. Of course, tomorrow night, we are going to have Will on. Tomorrow, he's going to be covering the Ajax-Liverpool game. So God knows what's going to happen in that one. And of course, it'd be nice to see a bit more passion in that game as well. But we have had a substitution in the Chelsea-Sevilla game. Ziyech has come on. Mason Mount has come off. Why don't we bring KL in? Because we haven't really had any opportunities. I feel like it's just nice to bring him into the stream for a second, because we haven't really seen you all night, to be honest.
No. If you want to just talk to me, Josh, that's great. You had a nice day?
It's been a fantastic day. I don't think you've had a great hour, have you, to be honest?
No, I was going well up until about 7:45. And then he got... I had to get... But there's been no real chances to report to you as Sevilla come forward. Navas crosses it to the back post. And as most of this game, Josh, it came to nothing. So it's just nice to see you, to be honest.
It's nice to just be able to see each other, isn't it? I mean, you've not had much going on at all in your game tonight.
No, honestly, it spruced up when a substitute came on, but that's because I saw the big electronic board and it was the most exciting thing I'd seen.
I mean, if that is as good as it gets, then I'll tell you one thing. I'm glad I haven't covered the Chelsea-Sevilla game tonight. I'm very lucky I didn't pick it in the end, because originally I was, and then I changed my mind. But yeah, very bad so far. Thank you very much, Kyle. We will hopefully bring you back before the end of the game. If not, I'll see you in about half an hour's time.
See you later. It's been a pleasure.
See you in a little bit. Oh, you're very lucky for him right now. 0-0 in that game as it currently stands. Not really much going on. I just thought I'd bring him in because it'd be nice to see Kieren for a little bit, because he's been very quiet. But yeah, 0-0 as it currently stands in that one. There's been a few changes in the Barcelona game. 3 changes to be precise. The changes have seen Sergio Roberto, Trincao and Fati come off. On has come Ousmane Dembele, Junior Firpo and Pedri, who is a fantastic player on his day. He played in Barcelona's last match, actually, and had a very good game indeed. He's bloody good on Football Manager, I have to admit. But he's onto the pitch alongside Ousmane Dembele and Firpo. So a few changes tonight. Remember, teams can make 5 substitutions in the Champions League, so we should see a plethora of substitutions across the board in tonight's fixtures. But we are going to go to Rowan, because there was a substitution. Julian Brandt came on for Piszczek. It has been a little bit more quiet in the second half. Lazio 2-0 to the good. Dortmund have some work to do if they want to get back into it. But who's had that chance, Rowan?
It was Dortmund, and both sides have been wank, to put it politely, the second half. Both teams not really doing anything, but it is Dortmund. It's Gio Reyna, finds Jadon Sancho. Sancho plays it through to Haaland. Haaland lays it off to Rafael Guerreiro, lets one rip just outside the box, but it does go wide. We have got 2 subs for Lazio. It's Vedat Marike coming on for Correa, and it was Akpro coming on for Milinkovic-Savic.
Well, there we go. Hopefully, we might see a little bit of action. I guess you're kind of relying on a Dortmund goal to just kind of make the last 15, 20 minutes interesting.
They've gone more attacking. So it's a minor positive you can take from it.
Indeed, but hopefully we can have a few more chances before the end. We'll have to find out. And we got a penalty for Ferencváros and a red card for Barcelona. Well, I think Piqué's been sent off. He's protesting with the referee. And I kind of just want to see this back, just to see what's happened here. And if they can score this, we do have a consolation goal at the very least, and I think it's deserved because they've had a few opportunities tonight, but it's a long ball. In fact, it's a great long ball. It was from Zubkov. Tries to get it to Nguyen, and well, I've got to say no complaints at all with the red card here. PK pulls the shirt of Nguyen, and I mean, do you know what? Actually, you could say he's gone down a little easy there, and it could be harsh, but you know, VAR will check this, and it's going to be Karatin who steps up to the spot with the penalty. It looks like he's been given here. PK still protesting to the referee. The referee's having none of it. He's saying get off the pitch. Barcelona down to 10 men, and well, it would be very, very, very unlikely here for Ferencváros to come back. But you never know. With Barcelona down to 10 men, of course, they'll probably tweak the system here and bring on another centre-back. But let's find out what happens, because Ferencváros, with 20 minutes left of the game, which is massive for them, of course, have a penalty. And if they can get a goal back, I mean, you never know. It'd be incredibly unlikely and would be just a ridiculous result if they could do it. But let's see if they can put it away first. So the penalty has been given. VAR has confirmed it. Karatin is going to step up to the spot, and it could be the start of an incredibly unlikely comeback. Karatin steps up, takes his time, and yeah, it's in the back of the net. He just took his time there. Really, really wanted to make sure he was going to put it into the bottom right-hand corner. He has indeed, and Ferencváros, they have a goal back in this game. It's 3-1 with 20 minutes to go. Barcelona are going to have to change their system up because PK has been sent off. Ferencváros, can they do it? They have 20 minutes. We will have to find out. But it's game on here at the Camp Nou. There's been a change in the Manchester United game. Pogba has come on. Alex Telles has come off. And as you would expect, Coutinho has come off in the Barcelona game. They brought on the Uruguayan defender, Ronaldo Araujo. So they've got to bring that extra defender on, of course, with 20 minutes left. But finally, we've had a chance in this game. Chelsea-Sevilla. Who's had the chance, Kieran?
It was Sevilla, and it was one of them chances that actually got me off my seat momentarily. It was a corner routine from Rakitic, obviously returning in the summer. He floats it. It's a routine to the back stick. It's one of them. It's floated. You're begging for John Jordan to take it on the volley. He does from the edge of the box. It's dipping, but it just hits the roof of the net. There was a momentary jump, but sadly, it wasn't to be. Josh has a lot of things in this game.
Well, hopefully, maybe with 20 minutes left, we might get that goal, but we'll have to find out. Thank you very much, Kieran. Kieran Ellis. 0-0 as it currently stands. What isn't 0-0 is Rotherham have conceded. Of all players, we've just conceded to fucking Sammy Amiobi, so that sums up my night so far. 1-1 in that game. It wasn't the 90th minute, though. At least we'll probably concede in the 90th minute anyway. But we are going to go to Rowan because there has been an actual goal in the Champions League. Lazio 2, Dortmund 1. The question is it a Lazio third or a Dortmund back in it?
It's a Dortmund back in it, and it's my boy, Gio Reyna. He gets the ball, he drills it across the face of the goal, and Haaland hits it with so much power into the back of the net, and it's game on now. It's quite a simple game, but Dortmund, as soon as Julian Brandt's come on and Gio Reyna have come on, they've been playing some attack football. Sancho is really having a mix and match game. There's moments where he looks the worst player on the pitch, but then just before he had an earlier chance where he's done incredibly well to win the ball and he whips it in, it doesn't come to anything, but a couple of minutes later, Gio Reyna drills it across, Haaland smashes it into 1 game on, 20 minutes left.
Thank you very much, Rowan. It is game on indeed with 20 minutes to go. Lazio 2, Dortmund 1, and we said if there could be a goal in the game that spices things up, you kind of hope it was going to be Dortmund the goal. They've got it. Game on in that match. Let's have a quick look at your guys' comments as it currently stands. Just seeing what Chris has put there. He's put about Liverpool. Just kind of look at that in a second. Matej Kovacic coming on for Chelsea. Chris has said Ferencváros, but you never know because they've made a couple of changes actually. In a play that they've made 3 changes actually. Sivic, Lauduni, and Nguyen coming off. Somalia, Marshall Heister. And a recognisable player, Robert Mack, has come onto the pitch, former PAOK man. Of course, he signed for Ferencváros not too long ago. He's come onto the pitch. They're really going for it now, and they're coming forward here again, and this is a good opportunity. Doesn't lead to anything, though, and it's a bit of a heavy pass towards Isale. And Barcelona bringing on Sergio Busquets. That kind of shows how worried Barcelona are right now, because they're down to 10 men, and they've got a lot of work to do if they want to hold on to this 3-1 result, because you would expect now Ferencváros to push up a little bit more, because if they can get a goal in the next 5 to 10 minutes, it's going to make things very, very interesting with 15 minutes left of play. But looking at the chat as well, Tim saying PK shouldn't ever be doing that, though, with his experience, and I agree with you. It is clumsy. Not the strongest foul in the world, but, it's a one-on-one chance, and it does, in the end up with a red card for PK. Chris, but do you think Liverpool will find their group harder now without Van Dijk? Do you still expect Liverpool to go through regardless? And I'd expect Liverpool to probably go through in that group, but it's going to be tricky. I think this is one of your toughest groups you've had for quite some time, because Ajax and Atalanta are two teams that are certainly no walkovers, and I think they will be a lot tougher than some Liverpool fans might expect them to be. So we'll have to, of course, find out what happens tomorrow. And Will actually be covering that game. He's a Liverpool fan indeed, so he'll be watching Ajax versus Liverpool, and hopefully it's a good game indeed, because certainly on paper it sounds like an enthralling match. But just going back to this Barcelona-Ferencváros game right now, Ferencváros have dominated this last 5 minutes. I would be very interested to see the stats in terms of how much of the ball they've had, but they've got a chance here to come forward. It's Heister, but it's really good defending at the back from Serginho Dest, who's able to just clear the ball away and might have just led Barcelona on counter-attack here, which he doesn't. It's a great tackle from Zekanovic. And, I really want Ferencváros to get a goal here. I know there'll be a few Barcelona fans praying that they don't, but if they can get a second goal in the next 5 minutes, make it 3-2, you never know. It could actually happen. And it'd make for a great Champions League night. It's only the first match day, but if they could do it, it'd go down as a classic result. And they're coming forward here once again. They're in the box and they've hit the side netting. Oh, I really want them to get the goal. And, it was an actual chance for Robert Mack, who was just at the far left-hand side of the post. And, he hit the side netting. And technically, it wasn't the greatest chance in the world. But they are testing this Barcelona team. And you have to say that technically on paper, Barcelona do look fairly weak in comparison to the yesteryears. And Miralem Pjanic is coming off. Sergio Busquets is coming on, which kind of shows the approach that Barcelona are going for now. And with 15 minutes left, this game is very, very interesting indeed, with that 10 men for Barcelona right now with a sending off. But let's have a look at the chat right now. Florian's in the stream. Hope you're all good, buddy. Welcome back. Nice to see you in the stream today. He is saying, glory, Man United. Of course, still 1-1 in that game. Chris has put Ajax hard team to figure out as they lost Ziyech, Van de Beek, De Jong and De Ligt. But they've still got likes of Promes, Neres, Tadic, very threatening. And they're still a very, very good team on their day. But I'm going to quickly look at Tim's comment in a second, because there's been a goal. Now, Lazio Dortmund, it was 2-0 to Lazio in the first half. Dortmund, they got a goal back about 5 minutes ago. The question is, have Lazio made it 3-1, or have Dortmund made it 2-2? Who scored, Rowan?
Dortmund's job's got much harder now as Ciro Immobile squares it across the face of the goal again, and very similar to Dortmund's goal, squares across, and it's the Champions League debutant, Agpro. No, not that one who plays for Barnet. It's his brother on his Champions League debut, scoring for Lazio, and this game's spicing up a little bit more now.
Is indeed. Thank you very much, Rowan. 3-1 to Lazio. What a game that has been tonight. You thought maybe Dortmund would get back into it. And as Rowan perfectly said, they have now got a trickier job on their hands with about 15 minutes left to go if they want to get back into that game, of course. But it's 3-1 Lazio. Fantastic performance for them tonight. 15 minutes left on the clock. Can they do it? We'll have to find out over time. Tim has put, what were your thoughts on the possible retrospective action against Jordan Pickford for the injury on Van Dijk? That was talked about but didn't happen. And I mean, I didn't watch the game because I did watch the Celtic Rangers match. We were doing a live stream for it. So Kieran L watched the match, and you look back at the tackle, and it's an awful tackle. And it's shocking that in retrospect that nobody kind of looked at it on VAR and that, but of course it was offside, and it was it's one of those, isn't it? It will be something that will be debated for some time. And I know obviously the Liverpool fans are fairly angry about it and things, but it's an interesting one. I can't say much about it myself, as I said, because I didn't really watch the match. I watched the Celtic game. But there'll be a lot of very angry Liverpool fans. Of course, it really does mess up their season big time. And then our group will be a goal feast for me. Ajax will score goals. Atalanta definitely will. And I'm hoping it is because, as I said, that group on paper is just a really, really good group in terms of the teams inside of it. Sasha saying go Ajax. And then Tim said, I said 3-1 to Dortmund. Just switch the team names around and I'd be right. And technically, of course, you would be. But, of course... Dortmund 3-1 down, which is a shame. And then Chris, but I was feeling the Merseyside derby, but I've moved on. It's football, unfortunately. Pick for tackle on Van Dijk happens all the time in football. Only action should have been a red card during the game for me. And I guess that's the way you have to look at it. It is one of those, unfortunately, where it's happened before in the past. You know, Ryan Shawcross has, with that foul on Aaron Ramsey, there was... Abu Diaby with his injuries in the past. Ferenc Varos through here. Oh, that's a great tackle. It really could have been 3-2. And it's a just last-ditch tackle. I think it was from the substitute, Ronaldo Araujo, who just gets a touch. The ball. It was Lenglet, actually. Just gets a touch to stop the ball going into the back of the net. And I tell you what, Ferenc Varos are knocking on the door with 10 minutes left of play. I mean, I'm a neutral, but I want them to get the goal back. I think there's a lot of people that want them to get a goal back in this game, but it's still 3-1 as it currently stands. Lazio and Dortmund, there's been a change in that game. Rainier, the Brazilian, on loan from Real Madrid. He's come on for Marco Reus, not been Marco Reus's best day in a Borussia Dortmund shirt. But of course, they've still got 10 minutes left to get back in that match. And Rowan said there's been a chance. Who's it been to, Rowan?
It's Dortmund again. This time it's Munier runs down the wing. He puts a lovely lofted ball in and Haaland jumps up and it's a great save by Thomas Strakosha. This game is really heating up. Haaland jumps up back, he pulls his body back, and that allows Strakosha that little bit of time to reset himself. Puts it over the bar. Sancho will take the corner. There is going to be some. I think that's Alberto will be coming off for. Can't tell you. He's coming off for someone anyway, but yeah, it's a Dortmund corner. But it's Parolo who's coming on for Alberto.
There we go. But time's running out. Thank you very much, Rowan. 3-1 to Lazio. Time is running out for Borussia Dortmund to get something in that game, of course. They've got to get a goal soon if they want to get back into that match. Let's have a look at the chat right now. But I'll say I feel you, Chris. But your game was very bad in the ending. Hendo had that and the Mane was off. Mine was unfortunate. Would have been 3-2, but Sanchez found our net instead, which was very unlucky. Great game of football, though, for the neutral, that game between Spurs and West Ham, of course, the incredible Lanzini goal. I think I read something, Benaldo, about the XG of Lanzini's shot was 0.01 for the chance of that going into the back of the net, which just proves how good of a goal it really is. But incredible. We've had a change in the Lazio game. Ciro Immobile has come off. Philippe Caicedo has come on in that game. So whether Caicedo can maybe score a fourth, we'll have to find out. But Fenerbahce are in the box here. There's a few calls for a penalty, which the referee waves away. It was Israel trying to get a touch on the ball. They are still pushing to try and get that second goal and mount the comeback. And, well, the referee is talking to Israel there, saying, of course, get up. It wasn't really... it was a 50-50 foul, which... To be honest, there it was actually a pretty good tackle from Sergio Busquets. Does get a touch on the ball, and wasn't really many penalty shouts there. But as the referee telling Israel to get up and continue play because he wasn't going to get anything from it either way. But still 3-1 to Barcelona as it currently stands. I'm quaking in my boots right now because Rotherham are in the 90th minute. It's still 1-1. And we're in additional time, which I never like to see because usually we concede with seconds left of the game. But Barcelona through here. Ousmane Dembele tries to lay the ball into the path. And it's 4-1. And, well, that is game, set and match. And it's one of the substitutes that has come on. It's Pedri, the Spanish youngster, who has killed the game off. And, well, when it looked like Ferenc Varos were about to get back into the match, the speed and the pace of the two substitutes, Ousmane Dembele bombs down that right-hand side. He lays the ball into the box. Pedri, with a simple finish into the back of the net, means that Barcelona's woes are blushed and spared. In a game which you've got to say that Ferenc Varos have done very, very well to try and contest with Barcelona tonight. But ultimately, it just wasn't enough for them to come through and get a result against Barcelona tonight. 4-1 to Barcelona. The youngster Pedri with a goal. He'll be absolutely delighted. And a fantastic finish Indeed, it's a simple tap-in for the Spaniard. And, of course, Barcelona coming out now with the 3 points in their game. Of course, about 8 minutes left of play in this one. But we've had plenty of goals tonight, which is the good thing as a neutral. There's been a few changes across the board in some of the other games. PSG Man U still currently 1-1. We haven't really heard much in the last 10 or 15 minutes. Raphael and Dagba, they've both come on. Kazawa and Ander Herrera coming off for PSG. And there's also been a change in the Sevilla-Chelsea game, still currently 0-0 in that one. Franco Vazquez and En-Nesyri have come on. Luke de Jong and Rakitic have come off. Hopefully, we might see a goal before the end of the game. Of course, Kieran now still waiting on a goal in that match as it stands 0-0 in that game. But just having a look right now, Benalcázar and Lanzini had a stunner. The shot was insane, Puskas worthy in my opinion. It was a monstrous goal, absolutely unbelievable. Tim has put, still time to get that 5-1 prediction of yours, even with 10 men. Very, very true. I did forget about that. You know, still a little bit of time left, and I think maybe we could see that potentially happen. And I'm absolutely delighted because Rotherham have actually picked up a point, although we still technically dropped it from a winning position. So, you know, I'll take a point. But we are the drawing merchants of the EFL Championship right now. But at least we, you know, didn't lose all the points this time in the game. But I'll take that indeed. But we've got 6 minutes left of play. A yellow card coming out here for Ferencváros. They made a couple of other changes in this game, but it is going to be Karatin who scored Ferencváros's first goal of the Champions League this season from the penalty spot, who goes into the book. And you've got to kind of feel to a certain extent for Ferencváros, because there was that 10 or 15 minutes where PK was sent off and they were bombing forward, where they could have had a couple of chances to put the ball into the back of the net. But unfortunately, tonight wasn't their night. But they can take positives away from this game that they have given Barcelona a very good contested game. But we haven't talked for a little bit about the other two games going on tonight. Not really much going on in the Leipzig game. Been very, very quiet for the majority of the 45 minutes. There's not been major chances from either side at all. And then, of course, Stade Rennes against Krasnodar. That game did liven up a little bit. It was Rennes who took the lead in the 56th minute. And then 3 minutes later, Krasnodar scored an equaliser. But since then, it's gone very quiet. Rennes still dominating that game in terms of chances of possession, but still can't quite seem to get the winner, which is a real shame for them right now. But of course, Krasnodar, they could still get a winner in that match. We'll have to find out indeed what's going to happen with a couple of minutes left here. But Barcelona are through on goal. Ousmane Dembele tries to cut on his right foot and curl an effort in, curl a chance into the back of the net. But just a slight deflection from the Ferencváros backline means that chance is going to go and miss for Barcelona. Another good chance there for Dembele, who has looked very bright since he's come on in the last 10 or 15 minutes. But just seeing right now, but I'm saying welcome to the draw club, Rotherham. Love Tottenham. We love a draw right now at Rotherham. We can't get enough of them. And Chris has put, could be like Carlisle. They love gifting points to teams below them. Technically, we've kind of done the same at points, but I think we're mid-table right now. Yeah, 16th. Average, but we'll take that. We'll take every point that we can get. But look at the scores right now. We've got about 5 minutes left of play across the board. As you can see on the screen in a moment, just updating the times, the goals and the scores tonight. Of course, Bruges picking up a 93rd minute win actually against Zenit to get a 2-1 victory in their first game. 2 goals from Morata means that Juventus won 2-0 against Dynamo Kiev. In terms of the games that are currently live right now, RB Leipzig 2-0 to the good against Istanbul Saxa here. 2 first half goals for Angelino. Stade Rennes 1-1 against Krasnodar. Lazio 3-1 against Borussia Dortmund. Chelsea 0, Sevilla 0, the only game of the night so far that's currently goalless. PSG 1, Manchester United 1. Man U opening the scoring courtesy of Bruno Fernandes. And then PSG getting a goal back in that game from a Martial-owned goal. And then the game with the most goals on the night, 5 goals tonight so far. Barcelona 4, Ferencváros 1. Of course, Ferencváros, they've done very well tonight. Barcelona did go down to 10 men. PK was sent off with a straight red. I do have to say tonight, Barcelona haven't been majorly convincing at times. But of course, a 4-1 win is still a very good result indeed. So we are now getting towards the final couple of minutes of these Champions League fixtures. The Ferencváros are in here again. A half chance that just goes wide of the mark, and it's a good save from Neto. And it was actually a chance from Marcel Heister, takes the shot on. It's a ball that's lofted. I think it's like deflection from Lenglet, goes towards Heister. He's inside the box, takes the chance on the half volley. Neto has to make the save, and it would have been another good chance there for Ferencváros to make it 4-2, but a good save from the Brazilian goalkeeper, who, of course, has come in for Marc-Andre ter Stegen. He's out till November time, so we will see a lot of Neto over the next couple of weeks. Of course, we will see him in El Clasico, which takes place in 4 days' time, which you can actually see our live watch-along for El Clasico on the 24th of October. It's going to be a fantastic game to cover. We're going to be live from 2:45 on Saturday for that one. So do keep your eyes out for that if you are a fan of La Liga or El Clasico and you can't access the match. There's been a couple of things going on in the PSG Manchester United game. Yellow card went to Danilo Pereira, and there's been a couple of changes as well. Sarabia and Bacca coming on. Di Maria and Florenzi coming off, and we have another goal. It is 5-1 to Barcelona, and it's the man who has done very good since he's come on, Ousmane Dembele. He's looked so bright in this kind of last 10 or 15 minutes. Really enigmatic with his pace and his skills, and well, it's a lovely worked goal from Barcelona, and I might get my prediction right here. 5-1, I'll take it, and I've got to say it's a fantastic goal. Messi is inside the box. Really poor defending, you have to say, from Ferencváros. Ousmane Dembele in acres of space. It's laid off to him. It's a simple finish from the Frenchman. And what hasn't been the most convincing result tonight looks very good on paper because Barcelona have 5. Ferencváros, of course, with their 1 goal. And most importantly, Ousmane Dembele, who has had his injury issues over the last couple of years, gets that all-important goal in the Champions League, and it's really good for his career, of course. Tim saying El Clasico always delivers. It does indeed. And Chris has said you'd have took 16 for Rotherham before the season. I absolutely would, but of course we've got plenty of action still to come. But we have had a goal. PSG Man United, currently 1-1. Who's got the goal and who looks like they're going to nick the lead? KD.
Marcus Rashford with the finish. Manchester United take the lead. I don't know if you heard me fucking yelling or not, Josh, but yeah. It's Paul Pogba who picks up on the edge of the area, just lays it off to Rashford, who beats Danilo Pereira and fires it past Navas into the bottom left-hand corner. And it might be another smash and grab for Manchester United, but I ain't complaining. We've got 5 minutes plus added time. Please blow the full time whistle now.
Hold on to your hats. Thank you very much, KDs. You said it looks like it's going to be a last-ditch grab from Manchester United to win it. It was Rashford last time in that big game 2 years ago, and it looks like Rashford's going to do it again. It's 2-1 to Man United. We're into additional time. It's a last-ditch winner, it could be, for Manchester United. Paris Saint-Germain 2-1 down, and of course, KD absolutely ecstatic with the goal. He has just put James and Van de Beek have come on. Bruno Fernandes and Martial off. Of course, a couple of changes in the last couple of minutes, but the 2-1 to the good. Are they going to hold on? We'll have to find out with a couple of minutes left of the match indeed. Sasha saying Barca with a smiley face, of course, 5-1 up in this match with a free kick here. 2 minutes of additional time. This could be a 6-1 win here. Messi with a free kick from about 30 yards out. This is a very good position indeed, and it would be very messy. It'd be very messy-esque to stick this in with about 20 seconds to go. Let's find out what happens here. Messi takes on the free kick, and it's a good punch away, which means that my prediction looks like it's going to take place. It does look like it's going to be a 5-1 win for Barcelona, but Chris has put PSG so overhyped and overrated. I told you their defence is shocking, well-deservedly for Man United. Pains me to say, but by far the better team. And Tim has put good finish from Rashford. To be fair, they look like they're about to nick the win. 2-1 to Man U in that game as it currently stands. We've got a couple of minutes left of the games, though. We are into additional time across the board in these fixtures, and it is full time between Barcelona and Ferencváros. I get my prediction right. It's a 5-1 win for Barcelona. The scoreline looks like they drubbed Ferencváros tonight, but they certainly didn't. It was a pretty impressive performance from Ferencváros at times, but ultimately the quality of Barcelona proved to be decisive in this game, and there were some good finishes across the board. And although, as I said, it wasn't majorly convincing, they have a 5-1 win, and that's all that matters. Barcelona 5, Ferencváros 1. Barcelona were down to 10 men in the latter stages of this game. But Ferencváros, although they did concede 5, they can be proud because they did very well tonight in this fixture, of course, against Barcelona, as you would have expected them to probably concede a fair few goals, which means I can put my focus now on the Leipzig Istanbul Saxa here game with a couple of minutes left to go of this one. Of course, we'll have to find out what happens with a couple of minutes left of this. But just having a look right now, there has been 3 minutes added on in the game between PSG and Manchester United. Of course, Man U 2-1 up, courtesy of a late Marcus Rashford potential winner. Not going to say it's a winner yet because there's still time left in that one, indeed. And Chelsea-Sevilla, still 0-0 as it currently stands. 3 minutes of additional time in this one. I'm pretty sure Kieran would just be happy if there was no additional time. Timo Werner has come off. Tammy Abraham has come on. Can he maybe score a late winner in that one? Of course, we'll have to find out with 3 minutes left to go. Well, I would actually look at the Leipzig-Istanbul game, but I can't actually access the stream to watch it, which is a bit annoying right now. So my streams have gone down, which means I can't actually watch any of the games as they finished. I think BT have just taken them down now as if the games aren't live anymore, which is a bit strange indeed. But we'll keep you up to date with the rest of the scores. We are into the final couple of minutes of these games. It looks like Manchester United are about to take a victory in their game. Of course, a few matches still going on. Rowan's game has gone to full time. Lazio 3, Dortmund 1. We will bring him in a moment, of course, to see what is happening in his game. And I think it's just my Wi-Fi has gone down, which is slightly annoying. I'm going to try and sort that out now. But let's have a look at the comments while we're into that additional time. Tim has said he hasn't played very well, but no one will remember that if he scores the winner. Of course, that's about Marcus Rashford tonight. Very good performance with him getting the winner, of course. And then Chris has put Farmers League. That's why, Tim, which is, of course, they always get called a Farmers League, but they did make the final. And then Tim put, agreed that PSG seemed to be overhyped. I was expecting more from them tonight. They get complacent playing against lesser opposition in League. And so, of course, that's where the Farmers League kind of name comes from. But of course, Lazio Dortmund, 3-1 win tonight for Lazio. They'll be absolutely delighted on their return to the Champions League, claiming a vital, important victory. Dortmund will be disappointed because at times they did show that they've got some attacking flair, but ultimately tonight they're already on the back foot in their Champions League group. Big news. Full time, Manchester United have got their 2-1 victory against PSG. That was the game of the night in terms of the two teams. It was a big game on paper in terms of the actual calibre of the match. But Manchester United, they get a late victory with Marcus Rashford. And honestly, Manchester United fans will be delighted tonight. We will go to KD in a little bit, of course, because he will be absolutely ecstatic with tonight's result. But that puts Manchester United in the front foot in their league, in their group, of course, and what a performance from them tonight, which means we are down to the last couple of games. We're into the 98th minute of additional time between Rennes and Krasnodar. That game is still, as it currently stands, 1-1. So we'll have to find out what happens there. I can't seem to get any of the games up anymore, which is very annoying. But we are at full time between Chelsea and Sevilla. It ends in a draw, 0-0 between Chelsea and Sevilla tonight. A very disappointing game indeed, which means we do have one more game left, which is Krasnodar and Stade Rennes. This one looks like he's got quite a fair bit of additional time, so we'll have to find out. But I can't see what's going on because BT is shite. I can't click on anything right now. It will not allow me to look at any of the games going on, which is very annoying indeed. I can't click on any of the games, so I'm just going to have to hope nothing happens, which, quite funnily enough, nothing has happened because it is full-time in that game. 1-1 draw, which means all of our fixtures on the night are done and dusted. So quickly, to very quickly run through the results tonight across the board. As you can see, Zenit losing 2-1 to Club Brugge in the 93rd minute of their game. Juventus with 2 goals, courtesy of Alvaro Mata, means that they get a 2-0 win against Dinamo Kiev in the 2 early fixtures. RB Leipzig 2-0 victory against Istanbul Saxa here. 2 goals in that one from Angelino. He'll be absolutely delighted with the 2 goals that he got in that game. Stade Rennes in a 1-1 draw versus Krasnodar. Both teams will be a little bit disappointed. More Rennes than Krasnodar, that they didn't come out with a victory in their game. Lazio with a 3-1 win against Borussia Dortmund. What a way to mark your return to the Champions League. Less said about Chelsea and Sevilla. 0-0 draw tonight. Not the greatest game of football to watch at all, but of course a point for 2 big teams in their group, of course. And then a big win tonight for Manchester United. They mark their return to the Champions League with a 2-1 victory over the Champions League finalist PSG. Marcus Rashford with a late winner in that one. And then, of course, the game of the night in terms of goals. 6 goals in this one. Barcelona 5, Ferencváros 1. Barcelona were down to 10 men with 20 minutes to go. Ferencváros did put up a good fight tonight, but ultimately Barcelona's quality stood best. Well, we're bringing the boys back into the stream for a little moment here. Some very good games for you guys tonight, apart from KL.
Yeah.
Bit of a boring game. But
it is what it is.
It happens, unfortunately. I mean, of course, Rowan, you had Lazio and Dortmund. What a performance tonight for Lazio. As I said, marked the return to the Champions League in style. They
were great. They really were. And I think the key thing for them is when the Dortmund goal came in, they shut it off immediately with the reply. I think positives that Dortmund can take, first of all, is Reina, when he came on, had a great game. When Brandt came on, he had a great game. Haaland didn't stop fighting. I think Royce should be starting Royce, using him as an impact player. Starting Brandt, using Royce as an impact player. He wasn't in the game. I think you'll have benefits when you get a Kanji back, when you actually get a centre-back back. And in terms of Lazio, you did everything right. Immobile has carried on his form. Even when the substitutes came on, Akpagpro scoring his first goal in the Champions League. That's his 9th goal of his entire career, and it's coming such a pivotal moment in for probably his career and also for the club as well. And they're good. They'll be a scary side in this competition. I think they'll be like Atalanta last year. I think they'll be a side that can go under the radar.
Yeah, fantastic side on the day. Really, really good. We saw them last season fighting for the Serie A title itself. Of course, they dropped off towards the end, but good win for them tonight against Borussia Dortmund. Of course, very disappointing for Dortmund to drop points there. But what a night for Manchester United. It was probably the biggest game in their group. Of course, they do have to play PSG again, but to go away from home, to get a 2-1 victory, Marcus Rashford with a late winner, it's like Groundhog Day again, KD. You must be happy.
Oh, I'm absolutely ecstatic, but I just have to say, we've been defending awfully the past few weeks or so, but tonight we actually played very well defensively. We were very well structured. We set up well. And fair play Axel Tuanzebe coming back in for his first game in almost a year. Absolutely outstanding. I'm speechless, Josh, to be perfectly honest, because I didn't expect us to win.
And well, there you go. You got the first 3 points on the board. It's a tough group, but you've set the marking out. You're top of the table. You'd be second right now, but of course you've got yourself in that position to go on and lead, of course. And it's a big win against the Champions League finalists PSG, who are under pressure already in their group to try and get results because they've got to play Leipzig and, of course, they've got to play Man U again away from home. So we'll have to find out what happens in their group. It'll be a very interesting one indeed to find out what happens by the end of it. And then, of course, we have to talk about it, unfortunately. Chelsea-Sevilla, 0-0. Sounds like you had a great game, KL, tonight.
I was going to say, you say we have to talk about it. There's nigh on nothing to talk about, and that's 100% true. I don't really know what you want me to say, Josh. Everyone's on 1 point in the group. That's quite exciting.
I mean, most importantly for Chelsea, it's a clean sheet, which is something that it feels like we don't say often. Of course, it wasn't Kepa in goal tonight. It was Edouard Mendy. Could you take that as a positive?
Yeah, sure. If you want it, yeah. Why not? It was just... It's what I said. Do you know what I said needed to change? Nothing changed. They just played in front of each other. They played it in the middle of the park, passed it around, kept the ball, which is fine. But no real chances apart from one Joanne Jordan volley, which got me out of my seat, but that's about it.
Pretty poor game indeed tonight between Chelsea and Sevilla.
Do you think one positive they can take is that they haven't dropped points against a group rival? If that makes sense. At least one of them they've come away with a point.
Depends on what your standards are. if your standards are wanting a point when you should be, they should top this group. They are the best team in this group by a decent margin.
Chelsea.
Between, Chelsea.
Sevilla, you're coming off a Europa League win.
Okay.
Oh, all right.
I mean, it's a very interesting point of conversation, I guess. Of course, Sevilla, they're going to have pressure on them to do well. And, of course, they want to do quite well, doing really good under Lopetegui in the Europa League. And for Chelsea, the most important thing is the money that they've spent. They have to go far in this competition. And, of course, not just in this competition, but in the Premier League as well to prove their worth. But tonight, a 0-0 draw probably isn't the best way for either team to start, because it does leave the other two teams in their group with another potential chance for them to not necessarily top the group, but to be well and truly in the balance. Of course, Rennes and Krasnodar tonight also drawing 1-1, which is a shame because one of those two teams tonight could have come out and led the group and had the advantage over the other three teams. But of course, as Kieran said, at least all teams are on 1 point. It does mean that it'll be interesting to see what happens in match day too. But you can see the live scores on the screen. It's full time now in all of the games. But before we do go, of course, here's a quick look at some of the other content still to come on our channel in the next couple of days, football related. So as you can see, Groups A to D match day goal show is tomorrow. Rowan's going to be hosting that. Will's going to be joining them for the fixtures. Hopefully we get some more goals tomorrow. Europa League, 22nd of October. Celtic take on AC Milan. That's our game of the week in the Europa League. Don't want to miss that one. Then, 24th of October, it's El Clasico. Barcelona, Real Madrid, 2:45. We're starting for that 3 o'clock kickoff. And then, of course, the week afterwards, on the 27th of October, we are back with match day 2. Of course, it's a very quick turnover in the Champions League right now. So you do not want to miss out on the Champions League. There's some really, really good games still to come. And, of course, to give you a rough idea of some of the games to come tomorrow night, it does include Manchester City, Porto, Ajax, Liverpool, Inter Milan, Gladbach. And I think the biggest game on the night, Bayern Munich, Atletico Madrid. So do keep your eyes out for it, because I said Rowan's going to be hosting. KL, KD, and Will be there. So do keep your eyes out for that from 7:45 tomorrow. So if you are new, do leave a like and a subscription, as always, if you have enjoyed the goal show. Just going to very quickly read through the comments, because I know there's been a few comments while we've been talking through some of the games. Bernardo saying, cheers, lads. Dinner time for me. Tim, of course, pointing out that everyone had drawn in Group E. Chris saying, I said 1-1 for PSG game as PSG. Nothing without Verratti in midfield. Only Di Maria, Mbappe and Neymar not going to win you the Champions League. Just having them is a well-deserved win for United, which is painful for me to say. And then he said, Chelsea getting knocked out in group stages. Imagine get the checkbook out for Koulibaly. Why don't you, Chelsea? With the thumbs up. And then Tim saying, cheers for the great coverage, guys. Catch you in the future ones, hopefully. Thank you very much for joining us, Tim, as always. And then Chris has put, great streaming channel, as always, lads. Take care all. So thank you so much for all the comments. Greatly appreciated. And thank you very much to KL, Rowan, and KD for covering the fixture. Thank you very much. Thank you. We'll be back tomorrow. In fact, I won't be back tomorrow. It'll be Rowan covering it tomorrow night with the goal show, with the boys as always. So do stick around on the channel. But as for now, have a great morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you are. And we'll see you again tomorrow.
Bye-bye.
Good night.